Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Real quick, the show from yesterday I took down because it just got out of hand and devolved into chaos. So I removed the show from yesterday. We're gonna run it back because the original topic, and I take the blame for not getting things under control. But the original topic was to celebrate Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors getting their citizenship in Guinea, but it turned into something else. So I want to apologize about that. Me, myself, I could do a better job moderating. You know, I'm all about having conversations, diverse thought, people who have different takes and different opinions. But yesterday it just got too far out of hand. And also, I'm going to re-implement the N-word tariff. Okay, if you come on here and say the N-word, is a $10 tariff sent to me via Cash App. So that is now back in play. I've been kind of lenient on it lately. So once again, the N-word tariff. You say the N-word. Yeah, I heard about R. Kathy passing. Rest in peace to her. And thank you for the $1.99 holla. And shout out to you, King Joseph, as well. But yes, I did hear about R. Kathy passing. It's unfortunate. May she rest in peace. I believe she had children too. I'm not sure. I don't know if any funeral arrangements, or I don't know if she passed. Did she pass away in Ghana? Hold on. Let me in fact, let's look this up real quick. I think she might have passed away in Ghana. I'm not sure. Let me switch this to here. But I know she was battling cancer, I believe. Let's see here. R. Kathy. Yeah, here we go right here, guys. Let me share this real quick. It's with the heavy heart that I announced the passing of my baby sister, R. Kathy. Keep the family in your prayers. Age of 45. That's That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So there's really no details on it. Yeah, this is in the Forgambian newspaper. Hold on, hold a second. Oops, wrong button. Our Kathy, American lady once taking Gambian social media by storm, is dead with a question mark. African American woman who went by the name Art Kathy and took the Gambian social media space by storm in the early 2020s has died. Close associates reported. She used to live in the Senegambian area. According to Travel with Tete, another American repat to the Gambia, Art Kathy's child's father confirmed that she died on Thursday, January 8th, 2026 in Ghana. Travel with Tete has a lengthy coverage on the sad news on the YouTube channel Travel with Tete, saying she was in no way celebrating Art Kathy's death, even though the two had an ugly spat and lawsuit. Even though Art Kathy had ruffled so many feathers while in the Gambia, we hope that both Gambians and her fellow Americans will find a way to forgive the shortcomings. She ended up relocating to Ghana, where she lived till her reported death. We Gambians will have our common Gambian way of forgiving her. There has been a very dangerous drive with hidden hands and powers to pit Black folks against one another. We pray that we all see the danger and conspiracy to stay unified. So this was her. So I mean, some people thought it was a scam, but this is her GoFundMe raising money for her cancer treatment. Um, yeah, yeah, but so she passed away. Rest in peace to her. Hope all is well with her family and her children. That they're okay. But yeah, that's um that's that for now. Again, guys, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Got a couple of announcements. So we're rolling to South Africa. We are rolling to South Africa. That is going to be March 25th through April 2nd. March 25th through April 2nd. We are rolling to South Africa. If you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO .Africa to learn more. We are also going to Senegal in May for another jazz festival. That's May 9th to the 18th, to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That's August 9th to the 18th. Then we're rolling to Zanzibar in September 20th to 29th, and then Ghana and Ivory Coast in November. So if you're interested in joining us on any of our adventures, please visit Donfo.Africa to learn more. I would want to put the link in the chat room for those who want to call in and add for the conversation. You're more than welcome to click on that link and call in. Oh, where's Cam Coleman going? Guys, I'm a college football guy right now. The transfer portal is going on. The national championship game is next Monday. I'm looking forward to that. My Georgia Bulldogs unfortunately lost to Ole Miss. Let's see here. Okay, he's going to Texas. All right, Cam Coleman's going to Texas. I don't know why he's going there. Should have came to Georgia. Should have came to UGA to be a winner. But instead, he's going to go to Texas and lose. Yeah, but Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors, her husband, got citizenship in Guinea. Let me Oh, so this is. Let me pull this up real quick. Hey, Letitia, how are you? How are you doing? Here we go. Here's another one.
Switch to TurboTax and file your own taxes free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th. Download now.
A ceremony on Friday, during which Hollywood film stars Meagan and Jonathan Majors received Ghanaian citizenship, with guests treated to a series of traditional dances and musical performances. The couple traced their origins to the country through DNA testing and were granted diplomatic passports from senior
Oh, they
government
got.
officials.
Oh wow, they got diplomatic passports. So not only did they get passports, they got diplomatic passports. That's what's up.
From now on, both of you, we believe that you're worthy sons and daughters of Guinea. From now on, you'll represent our country and its red, gold, and green flag all over the world. The pair married last year following a turbulent period in Major's life which negatively impacted his career. In 2024, he was sentenced in the United States to probation for the 2023 assault of his then-girlfriend. The
Which
actors
is
landed in
bullshit.
Conakry on Friday morning and were welcomed with much fanfare.
Just wanted to say thank you so much for receiving us with open arms and all the love that's been shared and all the just support and the feeling. It's good to be home.
We are that much more emboldened to come here, to come back home, and to help out any way we can, and really put us to work.
Guinea is not the first country to award citizenship to descendants of enslaved people as part of efforts to encourage them to reclaim their heritage and invest in the continent.
Yeah, so with diplomatic passports, I mean, they for the most part don't need a visa to travel anywhere on this planet, from my understanding. And then also too with diplomatic status, Wally, if something were I want to say if they were to get arrested here in America, like so they'll have a diplomatic tag now on their car. And I want to say if they get or if you're considered a diplomat or get a diplomatic status as far as passport, I want to say if you get in something like say you get arrested in America, like I don't think they could try you here. They gotta Guinea has to try you or something like that. I don't it's you get a lot of perks. Put it like that. Hold on, let me look this up. Diplomatic status. Can you be tried if you have diplomatic? Yeah, you get a thing called diplomatic immunity, I think. It's called diplomatic immunity. Here we go. Yeah, they get diplomatic immunity. Here you go. Diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity is a principle of international law by which certain foreign government officials are recognized as having legal immunity from the jurisdiction of another country. There you go. It allows diplomats safe passage and freedom of travel in a host country and affords almost total protection from local lawsuits and criminal prosecution. There you go. So I want to say, I think that Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good, they now have diplomatic immunity. Yeah, I want to say they now have diplomatic immunity. Good for them. Sure, I want a diplomatic passport. Here we go, diplomatic immunity. No, we're not talking the Drake album.
This video was made possible by Dashlane. Download Dashlane for free so you never lose another password at the link in the description. You've probably seen it in loads of movies, ambassadors above the law. But this is not just another one of those fake movie myths like how undercover cops have to tell you that they're cops if you ask, or that North Dakota is a real place. You really, truly can't arrest an ambassador while they're abroad, or really any diplomatic staff of any country. But before you go run off and get a job in a diplomatic mission so you can start your drug empire, don't worry, there are some caveats. Like all good things, diplomatic immunity has a United Nations convention. Oh, actually, you know what? Clearly that's not true because there's no United Nations convention on Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Nonetheless, the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations is signed by 191 countries, meaning pretty much every country in the world, with a few exceptions like the Solomon Islands and South Sudan. But hey, give them a break, they only started existing a few years ago. This treaty sets down a few rules such as, actually, I'm pretty sure this whole listing rules bit is a bit boring, so watch this video of desert wildlife. This treaty sets down a few rules such as countries can kick diplomats out, countries cannot enter an embassy without permission ever, countries cannot arrest or detain diplomats, and the family members of diplomats receive the same special treatment.
Oh, wow.
What happens when a diplomat gets arrested is nothing, because they literally cannot be, at least legally. A police officer may mistakenly attempt to arrest a diplomat, but usually this doesn't happen since embassies are well marked and also because, in most countries, diplomats are issued special license plates that identify their immune status. The embassy itself and the land it sits on enjoys another special status. Basically, the countryness of which country a country's land is in lies on a spectrum, with the far left being the US and the far right being France. A US embassy in France sits around here. There are places further to the left on this spectrum, like the US Military Cemetery in Normandy, France, which is not part of the US legally, but is a perpetual tax-free concession to the US from France, while the embassy on the right is not part of the US, even if US laws apply. This is actually a major misconception. While the laws of the origin country apply in an embassy and they cannot be entered by the host country, embassies are still part of their host country. I know, reality is a lot less interesting than internet folklore, but the whole rule about not entering an embassy is concrete and non-negotiable. If a country enters another country's embassy forcefully, it is considered an act of war. For example, Julian Assange, creator of WikiLeaks, currently has a warrant out for his arrest in the UK but cannot be arrested because he lives here, in the Embassy of Ecuador in London. British police know exactly where he is, but because of that one pesky not starting a war thing, they can't go in. Julian Assange can't leave the embassy without getting arrested, but when diplomats leave embassies, they sort of have a floating bubble of legal protection around them as if they were still in their embassy. If a diplomat had committed a crime sufficiently bad, though, say murder, their country would likely waive their diplomatic immunity in order to not be viewed as being pro-murder. Most countries, and half as interesting as an institution, are staunchly anti-murder. If a country refuses to waive their diplomat's immunity after a crime, they might recall the diplomat to avoid embarrassment. But if the country of origin truly does nothing after a crime, the host country can kick diplomats out even with their immunity. Just as diplomats have little bubbles of political protection wherever they go, diplomatic pouches do too. It's definitely another movie cliche, but embassies and ambassadors often send materials to and from their home countries through diplomatic pouches, which are, just like the embassy, legally impenetrable. These are often entrusted to a diplomatic courier who generally takes the pouch on a commercial flight, but at the airport, the pouch cannot be x-rayed by security, and at customs, it cannot be searched. Oh, and do people use these bags to smuggle drugs? Of course people use these bags to smuggle drugs. Sometimes people will make fake diplomatic pouches, while other times diplomats will use real diplomatic pouches for what would normally be illegal activities. Just imagine that, government officials taking advantage of their positions. If you want to create a fully legal diplomat drug smuggling ring, you'll probably need to sign up for an email account, run a website, set up frequent flyer accounts, manage online bank accounts, and remembering all those passwords can be tough. Any security expert will recommend having different passwords for different accounts, but honestly, what I really love about Dashlane is how convenient it is. It stores all your passwords in one super secure place and then autofills them on websites so you never have to spend time guessing what a younger you thought a good password would be. Dashlane also has a password generator that spits out super strong passwords.
All right, so there we go. Guys, links in the chat room, links in the chat room. Yes, I'm redoing the show from yesterday because the show from yesterday descended into chaos. And I want to apologize about that. So, again, the topic was to celebrate Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors getting and receiving their not only passports and not only citizenship, but diplomatic status. So that was the focus. That was supposed to be the focus of the show yesterday, but we got off topic. I'll put it like that. So, so this is where we're at now. Yeah, so this is where we're at now. Guys, hit the like button and please hit the like button. Also, if you want to call in, click on the link and call in. But what does this mean for the normal Joe? I don't want to say average Joe because none of us are average, who aren't celebrities. Is Guinea going to roll out an official initiative where those with DNA that links them back to Guinea, will they be able to get citizenship? Or is this just for celebrities? We notice the same thing with Gabon, now Guinea. Outside of Sierra, I do not know anyone who's gotten their citizenship in Benin Republic. If you know, let me know. Again, if you know, let me know. And then another question is, once these celebrities get their passports, how are they actually contributing to the country? What impact are they making on the country? Because I've observed many, not just celebrities, getting their citizenships and kind of just disappearing. So what impact, and Jonathan Majors pretty much said, whatever, however they need him, he's there. But is that the case? Is that really the case? Going to be the case? That's the question. With Samuel. So what makes Sierra Leone unique when oh, come on, guy, who's the guy that played in Grey's Anatomy? Somebody help me out. He was the person he was the first person to kick all this off. What's his name? Come on. Y'all help me out. Played in Grey's Anatomy. Got a citizenship in Sierra Leone. Come on, y'all, help me out. Hold on, I gotta look him up. Grey's Anatomy. Cast. Yeah, Isaiah Washington. Is Isaiah Washington, right? Yeah, so when Isaiah Washington ended up getting his citizenship, it kicked off an opportunity for others, including myself, to get citizenship in Sierra Leone as well. But when you're dealing with Gabon, where Samuel Jackson got his citizenship, now Guinea Conakry, I'm trying to think, and Benin Republic, has the opportunity been afforded to those who aren't celebrities to get their citizenship. So what's next? What does that mean for us? Can we now get our citizenship in Guinea Conakry? That's the question. Because I'm not sure what Isaiah Washington, what impact he's made on Sierra Leone. I know it's great for tourism. It brings attention to the country, but what's the long term um, impact for the country? But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, call in. If you want to talk about another topic, you're more than welcome to. But we're gonna make sure we keep it civilized. That's all. That's to make American pay taxes, nothing more. What taxes are you referring to? Africa, go ahead.
Howdy, buddy, from Wood.
Oh, body fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I'm not surprised that it's Guinea offering citizenship as well.
Well, no, not officially. Just they just did it for Jonathan and Meagan Good.
Oh, wow.
I know Guinea-Bissau had I think a couple people from Guinea-Bissau got it via DNA. I think.
Ah, that would surprise me if Guinea, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, all these countries start offering citizenship. That
Well,
would surprise me as well.
Sierra Leone is pretty much doing it. It was the only country that did it consistently.
I know.
As far as Guinea Conakry, I mean,
Yes.
we see two
It's
people
Liberia. Yeah, sorry, boss. Is Liberia still doing that as well? Or-
no, not that I know of.
That's a bit surprising. I mean, Guinea definitely died as you definitely your mandate, so they spread throughout the the region because we are the same people anyway. So if Guinea is offering, I would take Guinea, because Guinea at the moment is more developed than Sierra Leone.
Oh, really? Guinea's more developed than Sierra Leone?
Yeah. Right now, that
Really?
guy is
Yes,
the guy is
Guinea is more
yeah,
developed than Sierra Leone.
yeah,
Sierra
yeah.
Leone is the second poorest country in the region next to Liberia.
Mm. Guinea's gone past Sierra Leone, Liberia, way past. This military guy that's there is not playing diamonds. People are not talking about him, but he's no longer military guy. Now he's the official president. He won the election.
Yeah, he was elected. In fact, while I was in Sierra Leone, they had the election.
Yes, he won the election from all the region, all the people. I mean, he came in there. The place was a mess. Yeah, the Guinea currency was lower than Sierra Leone currency. Today it's the other way around. Today the Guinea franc is more valuable than the Sierra Leone franc. That's Sierra Leone money, leones. So and also when it comes to the deal that he made with this the Chinese, the Anglo-Saxon company, and this what you call Simandu, and also the Nimba, because at the moment Guinea got 4 blocks of mining blocks that they signed with Glencore and other companies, and they're getting 15% of this life without investing a penny in it. A good deal, and that money is coming in. The railways are coming, build roads. Because Guinea, the paved road in Guinea since independent is so bad. I think even Sierra Leone got better paved roads when it comes to that. But when you look at other areas that are more developed, they're catching up big time. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dinus, and hello to the panel. I wanted to ask you,
Yes,
Dinus.
me Liberian brother. How you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing? I
Yeah,
wanted to
thank you.
ask you, right? So, what's the tangible benefit for African Americans? For example, I was talking to Carla last night on his show, and there's a pathway to get citizenship for African Americans in Liberia. What do you think some of the tangible benefits are that would entice African Americans to get citizenships in these countries?
Um, benefits for African Americans or benefits for the country?
For African Americans, if they are dual citizens of
Um, it's more, I guess, spiritual and symbolic than anything. Because I mean, to be honest with you, when I did sales, we had this 80-20 rule. 20% of the sales reps are going to carry 80% of the number. So the majority of people who get citizenship in these countries are not going to do nothing. So it's just to have it, ECOWAS free travel. But if as far as actually building in the country and contributing to the country, I mean, you only get about 15% are going to 15, maybe even 20% are going to actually contribute to the country in a meaningful way.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting. I think it's really for people who, like you said, want to travel the region, free, hassle free, and maybe want to just kind of go around Africa, especially West Africa, and explore. Because, like you were saying, in certain countries like Liberia, you have to have at least a 2-year residency. If you're African American without any Liberian ties, you have to marry a Liberian. And there are other pathway outside of that, but it's more complex, you know. So is this thing that the citizenship in Guinea, is it just like you said, exclusive for those two? Because it's not open to everybody.
Yeah,
You
right now, it's just for the two.
All right, that's all I got for now. I'll pass the mic.
Go ahead, Johnny.
What's going on, Dennis? Appreciate it,
Hey,
man.
what was good?
Oh, I don't know if you got monetized or not, but congratulations, man. I've been seeing more ads on your channel. So
Oh
if
no,
you
so
did,
you can actually adjust. Not being monetized, but you can actually adjust the frequency of the ads. So I put it on blast. Go ahead.
might as well, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people have been getting citizenship or just making trips over to Africa lately, like Mike Tyson and Sierra, and Stevie Wonder, and like they was talking about Ludacris and I think Spike Lee and his wife too. I know Khaleesi's in Kenya. A lot more people have been making trips over there and kind of you know giving opportunity to boost for tourism and things, and they're kind of trying to reconnect with their roots. Um, I think that what others should do, even though you won't get maybe not necessarily get a diplomatic passport, but you could still take the opportunity to, start building businesses and seeing opportunities that are there that might seem out of reach in America in a lot of ways, like becoming a homeowner or just being a business owner, connecting with a global market. I mean, I still see a lot of benefits from it. I don't know if more people would make a move on that until some of these countries kind of put more of an investment in and hope that their institutions can survive corruption. So that's a big thing too, where more people coming in with money will influence things in a certain way, and that could lead to some big problems if people are not prepared for it.
All right, cool. Go ahead, Abdul.
Yeah, what the brother is saying, I'm all for it, man, because it seems like Africa do need some industries. Actually, they are now supposed to be industrializing, but the European and the West don't want them to industrialize. Instead, they are saying that it's for the purposes of global warming, and then our population is even underpopulated. Africa is underpopulated because if you look at places like China and India, they almost have the same amount of Africa or even more. But when you look at their landscape, it is very tiny compared to Africa. So what I'm saying here, I think this is a sign from the ancestors for speed to even go to Africa and doing what he's doing right now. I'm happy to see our sixth region is now in full form and full force. Right now, we have a representative now for the sixth region, which is very a good thing for us because it seems like it's an actual representative also here in the United States. And for Black Americans to go to Africa and have their citizenship, it will benefit you because now you have a dual citizenship. That's the same advantage that the Israeli are having when it comes to dual citizenship. That's why they enjoy that kind of thing, you know. So I think if there's a country that is giving you guys citizenship, you should go for it. Basically. Let me give my
I had a
child.
question
Let me
for
give
you,
my
but I don't know
child
if
this time.
your kids are
My kid is
interrupting.
loud as hell. I know.
No, I got a
She came
question.
in
You
the
said
wrong
something.
time, bro.
Yeah, you said something about industrialization. Do you think Africa has what it takes to industrialize, and what does it take to industrialize, in your opinion?
My brother, if it was up to us without any external forces toppling some of our ideologies, we would have been industrialized long time ago. But because they have this notion that they want to keep Africa poor because our sufferation is their glory. Their sufferation is our glory. So based on that mindset, they come up with this colonial ideology. So they want to keep this colonial ideology alive. If it wasn't for all of that, we would have been industrialized. Now they want to make it an excuse that is because of global warming that they're warning us. But when you
Okay,
look at the population,
Okay, Elvis, the answer to your question is sorry, Abdul. Number one is good governance, education, and make sure the energy sector, and the infrastructure is there first. And we need to have steel plants, the steel industry in Africa need to be revamped. Yeah, and it
okay,
should be based on local supplies, not international supply. And then obviously, we have to connect with a lot of the universities and all these new tech hubs to we will need to persuade them to come to some of the areas in the continent and basically to work with the basically our universities need to partner with the other universities for that to be achieved in this modern age. And I can't see any of that at the moment. The only one I can see, maybe there's few signs. I'm not going to go into it, but there's few signs I see in few countries that are trying to do it. But there's a long way to go because they're just on their own. And another thing, because you're Liberian and my brother, I'm a Sierra Leone, and there's one thing that always comes in my mind, Elvis, it's the Mano River Union. In West Africa, when we're talking about the ECOWAS, I think the ECOWAS is going to die out. It's the elite class that's been formed, and I think a lot of people are getting tired of it. I hope he stays, and they kind of work it out, under the new leadership, and basically trying to make sure, it actually lasts and gets more people in. But if we cannot get more people in, I think the ECOWAS, we the Mano River Union, should actually hijack the ECOWAS and actually turn it to our own good, in the far west. Because remember, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, right, and Guinea. We can actually if we look ahead, we can actually do a lot to transform the Mano River Union, to make it the superpower of the entire possibly Africa. That is because we have the people in the diaspora that can actually come back and do it.
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right, brother.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
want to say,
I'm a Sierra Leonean
Elvis,
too.
Elvis. Oh,
I
you
would like to
okay?
say this,
Okay,
right? Yeah, I'm a Sierra Leonean too. I would
yeah,
like to say this.
okay,
If you
okay.
remember that ECOMOG actually invaded us in our country, they didn't want to hear what we, the people of Sierra Leone, have to say at that
What do you
time.
say?
It's,
Ecomod didn't invade. You guys need Ecomod. Well, I'm Sierra Leone too. We needed Ecomod's assistance
Help,
during the Civil War.
help.
no,
They
no,
help.
no. The
yes,
rebel
we
and
did,
the
and
military.
Liberia did
No,
also.
brother,
No,
the
but
rebel. You don't
Abdul.
understand our situation. The rebel and the military came together. Once the rebel and the military came together, there is no more war. But Yankaba went
Yeah.
and said everybody in
Yes.
Sierra Leone is
Abdul
a
making
rebel.
point. Abdul,
So now you
this is what I
understand.
always said.
We
Abdul,
have
this
to
is what I
understand
always
the
used to say.
gravity.
But the Guinean soldier was fighting them though, remember, yeah, because they wanted to scare the Guinean soldiers. But the ECOMOC was there
Yeah,
as a
but you have
peacekeeping
to
force.
understand. You have to understand.
Yeah,
ECOWAS is a puppet.
yeah,
ECOWAS is a puppet.
yeah.
So now that we have the power, I call on upon President Bio to let them know, because President Bio was the ones that they were fighting through the ECOMOC. You understand me? So he understands this situation better than anybody
Yes,
else.
yes, yes.
He
Because he used to
stands
fight
for
the
the
rebels.
country. Yeah, he
Yes,
fights for the country. He
yes.
was the one that made
Thank
peace
you.
with also
Okay,
for the
okay,
Sankor,
okay, brother.
Masquita, and
Let
them.
me speak for a little
Okay,
bit, please.
Abdul, let Elvis respond to my
Yeah,
about the Man River Union.
yeah, I'll
Thank
get to it. In my estimation, I think ECOMOG was a net positive. Certainly, there was some negative, but overall, it was a positive thing for both countries. Maybe more so in Liberia because our war was just perhaps more terrible than yours. But in terms of development, right? I think countries have to be
Elvis, you destroyed our country, by the
okay,
way.
fine,
Thank
fine.
you.
But
Thank-
in terms of it, industrialization, I think countries who can generate money. I won't even say just resource, but who can generate money, who knows how to generate money. Whether it's selling your natural resources and maximizing its profit and then reinvesting that into your people and in your economy. That's one way to industrialize. But I think in our
Correct.
region, more so in my country and perhaps in Sierra Leone, we don't really know, or we're not doing a great job, generating money, because
No,
education and all of those things, it costs money to do those things. Costs money to,
right,
bolster your educational system, educating more people, and having stable electricity and building more dams and, power plants and all of those things. You need money for that.
because exactly, Elvis. Those
So
dams that you
if
just
we're not
mentioned,
good as Africans at generating money to the level
right,
where we have sufficient money, we can invest that into our countries. That's why I say I don't know if we have what it takes to industrialize, because without having the capacity to generate a lot of money where you have a surplus in money where you can invest it, you're going to always
right,
be, getting bad deals and begging other nations to subsidize your budgets. So that's
right.
just how I see it. But
And and and,
I
and
pass the mic.
IMF always behind it, and yeah, thank you. And IMF always behind your back, and so on. But I understand that, I get that, but I just think it depends on the kind of leadership and also the diaspora, because Sierra Leone and Liberia powers lies on the diaspora, because there are a lot of well-educated Sierra Leoneans and Liberians all over the world, involved in different kind of jobs, right? Down to engineering and big commerce and so on. Trust me, and if they're ready to come back, because it's a big shame that the two countries in West Africa, Sierra Leone and Liberia, who were the foundation of development and education, have now turned to the peaceful countries in West Africa. It's a shameful factor, because
But
I look at the
part of that is our small population, because some people think it's a benefit. But small
yeah,
countries tend to thrive when they're good at just one thing. For example, like Singapore is good at really good at banking. So if you don't
right,
have a very large, diverse population where you can focus on multiple things because you have the human resources to
mhm,
to bolster it, you have to be kind of like a niche country where you're really good at one thing. Like take
right,
Jamaica for example. They're really good at tourism, right? They get a lot of
right,
tourists in their country. They're not developing airplanes. They're not developing ships. They're good at that one
right,
specific thing. And that's what we have to do in our country, because we're small countries. We have to find one thing that we're really good at and then just maximize it and then build other
right,
sectors off the profit of that one, thing that we've kind of, you know, have an expertise in. Well, I think
right.
maybe, I don't know if I like the idea. Maybe Liberia and Sierra Leone can join and become one country one day.
We
Maybe
should.
that's a
I 100
possibility.
100%. Culturally, we're the same. Most of the tribes are the same. There's no border. The whole thing about Sierra Leone and Liberia is basically Sierra Leone fought for the British crown to keep America under the British crown, and the American fought for the on the other side of the war, and then we end up coming, they end up bringing us right next to each other, forming two countries right next to each other with similar, ideologies. It's so that we have more. I think in the future we have to, for our survival as English speaking country anyway in that West African region, because we are dominated by the French speaking countries and they're becoming more militarized. And believe me, time will come, it will not be as easy for the English speaking countries, apart from Nigeria, obviously, because of the population. But we in the far west, because we're quite conservative and we tend to keep our population within ourselves, I think we need to find a way, to connect. I agree. The only side I disagree slightly with the Nigerian intervention, they did what I know is there was more there was more into, I think someone may correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Liberia there was fighting more than in Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone, what I used to see, this would be more like peacekeeping force, but I think they did have some fight with the rebels. However, it was a Sierra Leone um, uh, military that was fighting these guys, and mainly the Guinean. The Guineans were actually becoming more successful, because I remember one time, they used to say when the rebels see the Guinea army, they run and leave their weapons to scatter. And even in Liberia, the Liberian rebels invaded the Guinea territory, their border. I remember the contest, Lansana contest sent the Guinean military there, and they chased the rebels all the way back into Liberia, and they seized some land from Liberia, and they just warned them not to ever do that again. I don't know if that land was given back to Liberia, but Guinea did held that land. And that's what Guinea will do. If you enter their territory, they'll go into your territory, they'll push you back and take more land from you. And it's something I think also in terms of defense in those Mano River Union, I think we need Guinea inside the Mano River Union as a strong partner. I think Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Liberia, those four countries should join, should become one new alliance. That's my take. I think the ECOWAS should actually focus on that and let the other countries get on with it, because we got everything it takes to actually develop our country.
Yeah.
And if you look at we're not poor people. We are poor in terms of development, like roads, hospital, and so on. But we have more land and we have more rivers. We have more stuff going for us than the other West African countries. But I hope we can see that one day. So that was my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, the whole I show speed thing, we in Liberia, we've been having the conversation that, we're kind of jittery because even some of us Africans are kind of impressed with the Southern and Eastern Africans that country look pretty good. In
Yeah.
our countries, we have we have one or two good spots, but it's a lot of undevelopment. So if that young man goes into Liberia and there's a lot of, undeveloped places, and it will be a stark difference from the Southern African countries. So we're
The
hoping
only
that his itinerary, it's going to be filled with maybe a lot of historical, beautiful beaches, and
right,
but
right.
is he coming to Sierra Leone too? I think he is, right? Or
Right.
is
I hope
he?
so, because the kids would love to see him. Hopefully,
I show
hopefully,
speed.
I
I
think.
don't know. Let me
I don't know.
he had his
Hopefully,
itinerary listed somewhere.
Yeah,
Mm.
I thought I
But let
saw
me pass
Sierra
it.
Leone. I
Let me
know
pass
Ivory
it.
Coast and Liberia for sure.
Let me pass it to Jagoon. Go ahead, Jagoon.
Hey guys, good day to everybody. Good evening, or whatever time you have. I am again. I'm interested in the kind of conversation we're having, and want to sort of back my brothers of Sierra Leone who have spoken, and Liberia. Understand that those nations took in the education, the tourism of the education of West Africa. Is very, very true. You know, during from the 1920s and such, there were many Nigerians that I know of who studied in Sierra Leone, particularly, and entered university. Even from the late 1800s, I've checked here in Oxford and Cambridge, writings of Yoruba students in Oxford and Cambridge, and what they were writing about, and the kind of intelligence that they had. It's quite amazing sometimes when you look back at our depth of intelligence and how far back it goes. To even speak of Black America, and sometimes we look at the history of Black Americans and we go back and we see from the 1700s there was this individual who created this thing and the first to enter this university and what he was able to do, and he or she actually, and those who traveled after their degree because they couldn't get what they needed to get in America at the time, and what they were able to establish abroad, in again universities in Scotland. We read a lot of history, but I'm sometimes puzzled at us as a community of global Black people, no matter our differences. I sometimes am perplexed with the fact that we're not reading enough into our history to make it pertinent today for our children, the children of the Black diaspora globe. I think it's so important as we see diminishing returns from all the efforts that we've been making as a Black people. I'll speak from the UK point of view. I'll tell you that in the UK, the Black community here is diminishing. It's almost non-existent. There are Black people here. There are about 3 million of us. Grown quite exceptionally from the 90s. There were 1.2 million in the 90s. There are now 3 million. And our spend power is getting stronger and stronger. But yet again, none of that is benefiting us. None of it. And I speak of my brothers in Sierra Leone who understand their history, and it is an oxymoron that those who began a strong educative level are of the poorest. And when I say poorest, I'm talking in financial terms. I'm not in cultural terms, not in land mass, not in this kind of thing, but in cultural terms, the poorest of the poorest in West Africa. We've got to stand back a little bit and take a look at what's happening globally and what's happening to us globally, and the fact that a lot of the complications between us, Africa, America, FBA, all this kind of further complication, does it serve us? Are we having intellectual reality, or are we just going to be spewing the thoughts and the opinions and the objectives of our white oppressors? Sometimes we come together to communicate, and I am sickened by what it is grown-ups are talking about. I'm sickened by the lack of intelligence, the lack of decorum, the lack generally. So, I personally, I look at these kind of platforms to do a job of uplifting, allowing our audience to hear us, that we are asking for us all as Black people to stand back a little bit and take a breather. This is a brand new year we're entering into, and what a year it's already been. And we see the pace at which the world is moving. We last year went like nothing ever happened, but so much did happen. So we have to understand that yet again, this 2026 is going to go through like a bomb. Those of us who are remaining at the end of the year, kudos. But are we establishing anything that we can truly leave as a legacy, truly leave for our children, or are we just going to maintain the status quo and pull ourselves down like crabs in a barrel? I'll end there and listen to the communication further.
Yeah, it's a good one thing that you said about Sierra Leone, about the, how
Hey,
Sierra Leone.
we have a couple of new people on. We should give them a chance to chime in first before you
Oh, okay.
continue.
I was gonna interject, but that's fine. I'll pass it on.
Dinosaur, you there? Let's
Yeah.
see.
Go ahead, Africa. Then I'll pass the bang. Go ahead, Africa. Then I'll pass the
Okay,
bang.
thank you, Dennis. So yeah, you're right. We are we are the most educated group. Historically, we have contributed a lot, and I'm glad that Jack will actually acknowledge that we have contributed greatly for a tiny little country. And in fact, I was actually on the defense field not long ago saying there is no country in this world that benefited from Sierra Leone more than Nigeria. And I'm
Mm.
glad that you acknowledge that today because we did for a tiny country. We have actually contributed a lot. Into Nigeria, into Ghana, maybe less Liberia, and into the rest of the English world now. But today we are like this because of the policies that we have in the continent and lack of real governance. I'll give a good example, and I'll pass it on. This year, or no, last year, just gone past one company took out $1 billion profit from Sierra Leone and only gave Sierra Leone $39 million to live on. You just make How can you make that out? These people are coming in, you know, taking our resources, leaving us dry, and bully our governments in the continent or in the region, because they felt
Yo, please, brother, what
and
company is that, please?
I forgot the name of the company, but it is on the record. They took 1 billion from Sierra Leone and gave 39 million profit. And another company that was mining, you remember the one that's mining in Kono district, right? They refused to pay their staff and gave
Yeah. I
39
think it's London Mining.
London mining. They refused to pay their staff basic wages in US dollars. They wanted to pay their staff on Sierra Leone money on a peanut change instead of sticking to the real agreement. When the government stand up to them, they trying to take the government to court. This is the sort of things that we're dealing with. The multinational corporations are cleaning us dry in Africa. We need to fight them out of the continent. We need to get our resources in our own hands. Some of these
Yeah, we
things
need
need
to
to be
we need to build
nationalized.
our own machineries for those processes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. Absolutely. Spot on. You know the problem. We need to start processing our own diamond instead of leaving these people to come and take our raw diamonds out of the country. Because we are still one of the largest diamond producers in the world. We still have, loads of mineral resources in West Africa. Guinea got the highest aluminium bauxite in the world. They just finished 2 aluminium plants in the whole continent of Africa. I think in the world, I think maybe South Africa might have one, but other than South Africa, I think Guinea is the only country that correctly just managed to have 2 aluminium refineries. So that's a good start. We need to get the steel industries moving fast. Then even I don't think Nigeria got steel plant, but that's a topic for another day. You cannot industrialize and you
Even
cannot have
even the timber, even the timber too. Don't forget we have some strong trees,
strong
some
one of the
timbers.
best the bleeding tree, right? And that's all the way to the Liberian border. This the Mano River is a money is money as it is, and everything that's in there. In fact, the one of the mining that I'm talking about, Limba, is the one that bordered to Liberia, and they build the railway all the way there to export it. But we need to start refining more of that, which the government is doing. But I think most of the West African countries like Liberia with their rubber, Sierra Leone with their diamond, they need to start making sure these things are processed locally and give people more expertise, higher incomes and to move the country on. But thank you very much, Diana. I will just move it on. Thank you.
Oh, let me pass the. Go ahead, bang.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, bang.
Okay.
Yes,
How's
you can.
everybody? To me, like some of these other issues in West Africa, like I think it's about 14 countries in West Africa, or probably like 15 or 16, right? I would eliminate probably like half of it. Like Benin, I'll give it to the Nigerians, either to the Yorubas. Togo, I might give it to Ivory Coast or Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. And then somebody mentioned Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea. I turn it into a one. And then Senegambia, I give it
Did
to
he cut out?
Senegal as well, and stuff like that. Because when you look at some of these borders, it doesn't make sense. It create division as well. And then why align yourself in a country that was divided by somebody else, and then as somebody else that was outsider? and as well. So to me, like majority of these countries that are small, including my country, it needs to be come together with Liberia
So,
and
can I
Guinea as
ask where
well.
you're from, Bang? What country are
Man
you
from Sierra
from?
Leone, man from Sierra Leone.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, because majority of these countries need to go, in my view, like half of it
Can
at
I
least.
put this to you, Bang? Can I quickly put
Yes,
this to
sir.
you? It's not that the countries need to go. These countries have a history already. What needs to happen is that whole West Africa and include the francophone countries like Central African Republic, Chad, Gabon, all these countries. That whole place needs to be one economic zone. That way, we keep some level of respect and autonomy within these countries. However, there is a greater overseeing power. ECOWAS tried, but we all know ECOWAS is just rubbish. It's corrupt nonsense. We as Africans, we need to stand back. I keep telling us and have a look. We're not looking. We are just going from pillar to post and having no further development that makes sense for us as a people. We really do need to stand back. I'll just suggest that to you, sir.
No, no, no. I agree with you. I agree with you. But to me, at the same time, like when we do get a lot of stuff out the way, we shouldn't honor some of these countries that was developed because obviously it creates some type of division. You have one tribe on this side, and then you have other tribes on this side that speak the same language as well. So, and then sometimes some of these countries, size wise, honestly speaking, it doesn't make sense. Honestly speaking, because you do need like massive countries, like especially like Nigeria. We gotta have another country in West Africa that's like almost the size of Nigeria. And I think if you could combine those other three countries as well, like Guinea, because it's the same people. You have the Mandingos in Sierra Leone's. You have the Mandingos in Guinea as well. They go back and forth. You got the Fulas in Guinea as well, going back and forth as well. You got the other one, the Mendays over there in Liberia as well. The same Mendays that are in Sierra Leone as well. They speak like they sound exactly the
And the
same.
Susu and the Timini, all of
Yes,
them.
exactly. They sound
Yeah,
exactly the same.
yeah.
So all these things as well, and also, you know, um,
Before you
you know,
move to your subject, I want to ask you a question. How difficult or easy do you think, given the lay of the land, or not given pie in the sky or whatever you might be imagining, how difficult or easy do you think it would be achieved to achieve what it is you are putting forward? In all honesty,
okay, like a lot of these tribes belongs to the same people. Like the
we've heard that. We've heard that.
if you could have these tribes to unify themselves, like I think the Mandinkas belong to the Bambaras. They cover up the same people as well. So if you could unify these same people, just like how you have the Akans, the that are in Liberia as well, and then you have some of the Akans that are in Ivory Coast as well. And then you have the Mandingos as well. If you could unify these tribes before you could remove some of these borders as well, it could be helpful. If these people, like you could have your elder from this country and then the other elder from this other country, they could come together and then try to unify their tribe into one and then try to see what they could work with for the
But sorry to cut
years.
you off. Sorry to cut you off. But if you look at the tension between Guinea and Mali, I will not propose that, bro.
No, I
The
mean, I
tension
mean,
between this, yeah,
beside
this
Again,
are
I
this
don't
are
know.
this are
I
two
think there's one
these are
guy.
two these
Sorry,
are
guys.
two brotherly countries.
I think there's one guy who hasn't spoken, and we definitely want to hear from everybody.
beside,
But I
I'm
put
gonna
it
end
to
this.
you, bro. So
Yeah, let
Beside,
Bang
I,
finish. Let him finish.
yeah, 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 let me finish, please.
Yeah, then
Beside
I'm gonna
even
pass
that,
it after that. After you, I pass it to JA. He hasn't spoken yet.
yeah, yeah. Beside even that, right, with the with the tension and stuff like that. Eventually, to me, once you get a good leader in any African countries, the people will protect that person as much as possible. Like
That's
an
true.
example of
True.
Nigeria. The day Nigeria get a good leader, I don't care where you come from, you will have Nigerians that will fight for you. Once you get that individual that really care about their people in any African country, they will protect that person as much as possible. I truly believe that. That's all I got to say.
Hello.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. The next person.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure.
I've been.
Was it AJ?
I think Jay. Have you gone yet, Jay?
Nah, not yet. I just
Go ahead,
got
Jay.
up
Then
here.
after that, it's Kofi. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I've been listening, and I think that people's like most of us. I think every one of us, we're trying to seek for better, right? You want to see things improve. You want to see people have some respect and some power in their situation and things like that. And so we're all going for that goal. The question becomes, how do you achieve that goal? And in the instance, in the mining issue that the brother mentioned, right? If the leader or whoever is in control of passing out these concessions or whatever, right, is in it for themselves, they're not really looking to gain. It's like if someone steals a product and then they're selling it, right? They're going to sell it at a lower rate than if a store is selling it legitimately, right? And so that's kind of what's happening in if it's a corruption thing. The money that you could gain from the mining is going to be way lower if there's corruption because the person that's paying off the person doesn't have to provide as much as if it was all above board. Because people talk about Africa and we forget that the biggest mining places where mining is conducted is places like America. In reality, it's Canada. We talk as Africans sometimes as if all minerals come out of Africa. And that's far from the truth. You see? But in these locations where a lot of us live, this mining is happening, but it's distributed whether in wages to the people or through taxes to the state and all that. And so we don't have that issue of corruption or the complaint of it, even though mining is massive in the United States. For instance, the United States is number one in oil production globally, number one in natural gas globally. And so the thing is now, leadership is not just one individual. It is the elites of the country, the politics of the country, and the people of the country.
Okay, let me pass. Go ahead, Kofi.
If the
Oh, Jay, you're not done yet. Oh, yeah, Jay. Yeah, went out. That's we're done.
sorry, or if the leadership of the country and the elites of the country are in cahoots, right, and the people have no way of checking that power, a lot of times they collaborate to suppress your poorer people, essentially, the average person. And that's where you run into a big issue. So if you're going to try and fix these issues, you got to figure a way to become economic force, essentially an elite or a politician. And then when you get to that point, think of including more people instead of excluding. But yeah.
You're mixing things up.
Okay. I
No, I
mean, you
don't
could
think he
disagree
was.
with me.
I
That's
think he
fine.
spoke
But
pretty
No,
well.
he
I
no
think
no
he got,
no no he is. He
I
mixing
want to
things
hear
up.
no,
what he
bro.
says. I mean, I have no
Bruh,
problem with
he
that.
spoke pretty well. He
No,
he
no,
may he may have left
let him
gaps.
give a
Shagun.
descendant. Let him give a descendant view. I want to hear what he got to say. Let's
I
hear it.
want to
Okay,
hear what
Okay.
he. I want
okay,
to hear
cool.
what he disagrees with.
Okay. This idea as if like let's put it this way, right? Like all these other nations have the same resource as Africa has, right? Let's visualize it, right? What what Africans are saying is what the contract is, what we are getting, the benefit of it. Is it like can it sustain our country? Is it fair? You understand me, right? Is it like our leaders when they go and sign these contracts, are they putting their people first, their priorities first, right? So obviously the contract doesn't make no sense. If your people come first, you will never sign. You never agree to what this contract is saying. So if these corporations are getting it super cheap, obviously they're gonna try to continue and make sure they keep getting it. So it's not like the resource it's not there, or like other nations don't have some of it. We know the continent of Africa has like a tremendous resource. We know that. That's why these corporations are there. And then the idea as if like American is like the number one oil producer, you guys are twisting it. Let me tell you guys why. Because of the reason why it looked like that on paper because of American companies goes to other countries and control their oil. You understand me, right? America has resource. Let's be fair. But America does not have resource to control the world. Two different things. America has enough resource to control their own citizens, but America doesn't have resource to dictate to the world.
That's what
That's
America
what I
has
gotta
been
say.
doing. Can I dissent to his dissent, please?
One second, brother.
Please, let
I
me
got
make
you.
sense of it, please.
No. We got people waiting. Go ahead, Kofi.
Yeah, there's people waiting, but there's a real conversation going on at the same
Oh
time.
man,
No. All right, do
Let
your thing,
Dragon
man.
go real fast. Go ahead.
Jagun, come on, man. Don't disturb this
I
conversation.
no, but I'm not disturbing. I'm not trying to disturb. I'm trying to have a conversation.
No,
And
Yeah,
there's
but
a
Kofi, do you want to defer your time to the Jagoon?
yeah. Go ahead.
Coffee, I thank you very much. And panel, I don't want to disturb. I really don't. What the gentleman was saying, I'm looking. It's not Bang. I think it was JA. What he was saying, for me, it was right. There was a lot to fill in, but it was right. When you look at America and American mining, it is the mining that begins this whole planet in terms of the excavation of our land for minerals. America's oil is still one of the largest oil reserves in the world. I'm not sure if you're aware. What our man was trying to make us aware of is that mining is going on all around the world in such a way that it is beneficial to the people of whichever country is holding those land rights in order to mine. It's not working in Africa. Why? It's not working in Africa because Africans are stupid. I have to say it like that. We are stupid. We have to admit it. We are signing contracts that are not fair to us because we don't care, because we don't involve the people in our thinking. We only involve our pocket. Unless we start seeing things correctly, we're just going to be arguing nonsense, round and round and round, round and round and round. I'm nearly 60 years old, and I've been looking at us since I was 12. I was born in Nigeria. I came to London when I was 4 years old. In recognizing that I'm an outsider in this UK, I've just been observing. And I observe in such a way like I don't even belong to the planet. But I observe deeply, enough for me to tell you all who are younger than me that Africans are stupid and we haven't really understood. I don't mean to be so belligerent, but we haven't really understood. We haven't really understood how this game is played.
No. That's a disrespect.
Let me end. I'm ending there. Thank you very much.
No. That's a disrespect. That's a disrespect.
Stupid isn't the right word, but
maybe
ignorant.
for you guys, but I'm putting it forward like that.
I agree with you. Actually, I just think we lack the capacity. I don't think we're stupid.
No. Elvis, what are you
No,
doing?
no, Bang. Let Kofi go. It was Kofi time. Let's just relax, cool down. Let Kofi go.
No. I'm not gonna sit here. Some guy called.
It's okay, Bang. You gotta hold your tongue. Hold your tongue.
He's calling himself stupid as well. If we're all African, we're all stupid.
No.
We're all stupid.
I know exactly what he meant when he used the word stupid. No. He can call himself stupid.
We lack the capacity for nation building, Bang, especially in West Africa. That's not far-fetched to say.
No, we don't. Elvis, you gonna call yourself stupid. You gonna call your family last name stupid. That's exactly what both of y'all.
This is not about honor. It's about the reality of the outcome.
Again, these things are just laughable. It just tells me the emotional
every day. You spend hours
emotional imbalance. Emotional imbalance, my brother. You didn't listen to anything I said apart from the word stupid, and now you're kicked off.
Bang was responding to me, and I just want to respond back to him. And all I need is 30 seconds.
No, hold on. Did Kofi go yet?
Exactly how it goes. Thank you, Kofi.
Just give me 30 seconds if you don't mind, Dan. It's just to respond to what Bang said to what I said.
We give you that. And I think you should have responded instead of others.
I want to say to Bang, thank you for agreeing with me. He said exactly what I said at the beginning. Exactly. He's pretty much said what I said. Now, he said something about America getting oil from around the world, and that's why they're the number one oil producer. I'm talking about domestic oil and natural gas production in the United States is the number one globally. America produces the most oil and natural gas of any nation. That's internal to the United States.
They're not.
Look it up. Now,
They not. They not. They
One
not.
second on Jagoon. I'm not gonna debate you on it, brother. Look it up.
They are. They don't have the largest reserve, but they're the largest producer.
On Jagoon's point, I agree with what Jagoon is saying. I think he summarized what I was saying pretty well. I do not agree with calling people stupid. I think that it's more of the system, the political system, particularly that you live under, that determines whether you will rise or fall. And that's for any nation. We can all go be successful, we can all fail. Any nation,
I mean,
any people.
that's a good
Let
response.
me
I
say
mean,
this
that
right.
covers everything. Let's just move on. No, Bang, honestly, he answered it. He agreed with you and he disagreed with you, and that's what we're here for. And same as the
Let me
others.
chime
Yeah,
in. Let me
Patrick, go ahead.
chime
Go ahead.
in.
Go
You
ahead, Patrick.
know,
Yeah.
sometimes I do come to the realization, and I'm speaking for myself. I say, damn, like we're kind of either we're slow or we're dumb, or we're just casualties of what we have access to. Africa is big, is huge. We are fast at procreating. We're good looking. We're fast. We're strong. We're just casualties to our own strengths, pretty much. And because Africa is so big, it's hard to think like a Chinaman. It's hard to think like a European because they're living in a more scarce mindset. Not only scarce, but pretty much if they're like from the caves and they have winters, so they have to develop certain technologies in order to survive, pretty much. And we pretty much gave them that intelligence from the civilizations that we brought. Now I feel like it's coming around in full circle. I don't think there's any more gatekeepers, right? Because of the invention of AI, AGI, or generative artificial intelligence. And because of that, I believe Africa is going to find itself in a strange place once again, because in order for all these systems to work, they're going to need the resources, and they're even going to have to go to different let's say they have to go to the moon or to Mars to create their centers, because the amount of energy that they need is just not enough on Earth. Now, I believe we do have, right. Is if you just go on the internet, you could just see like any of us could become the African version of the Berlin Conference, right? And we could come into our own continent and we could mass produce. Now, is intelligence going to let us do that? I believe if China could do it in 40 years, we could do it in 20 years. We have a young population, and I don't think language is going to be a barrier for so long. And what I want to point out to what I Show Speed is doing. I Show Speed, I believe he's already hit like what South Africa, Zambia,
Botswana.
Zimbabwe, Angola, Botswana. He hit Kenya, and then he's gonna. I'm not sure if he's going to Ethiopia or not. I know he's gonna go to Liberia, Ghana, and Nigeria. I believe, other than what Amaya, he's showing us like, look, this can be a this can be a borderless Africa. And what I'm seeing is that, damn, like black people really do all look alike. And I'm like, that's powerful.
Nah,
And
Kelly, the Kenyans, they're not African. They don't look like Africans.
what
That
I'm
that that
saying
must
is
hold. That
what
must be
I'm
a joke,
seeing is
hopefully.
another chance to I'm seeing another chance at life through Africa, pretty much,
All right,
because
Kofi,
the
let me let
Americas,
me
we're dying
let me
out.
res- let me respond to Jargon quickly, and
Right.
then okay.
No,
Look,
you made a great point. The last speaker, you made a great point. I agree to most of what you said.
yeah, 1 second,
Yeah.
please. What Jargon
Okay.
is saying is what I said earlier, right? If you don't know something as an intelligent person, if you know that, like somebody said, there are known unknowns and then there are unknown unknown. Once you know a known unknown, once you know something that you don't know, what do? You seek to know that thing, right? So if we look at
Right.
ourselves and realize that we have deficiency in development, what do? We look at the countries who know how to do it and we learn from them. Take China, for
Right.
example, right? China was dominated by Western countries. They were colonized pretty much with Great Britain, and then they kind of got their independence or their freedom. And then Britain took Hong Kong from them for like 100 years and had a lease on it. And China, what did they do? They knew they were powerful, but they sat dormant. They absorbed a lot of intellectual property. They took on the labor of the world. They became the manufacturer of the world. They sat there until they built themselves up to a point where they're now competing with the United States, the greatest country and the greatest economy in the world. So as Africans, can we take a 20 or 30 years or even 50 years and say, you know what, we're going to lay dormant, we're going to absorb, we're going to become a hub for, manufacturing, whatever it is that we can be good at. And we're going to take our time and over time, we're going to see the result. We're not doing that. So I think when Jack Gorn is saying that, saying stupid, and maybe it's a harsh word to use, but perhaps we're just not intelligent enough to see patterns, because part of your intelligent quotient is to be able to recognize patterns, to recognize that we don't know something and we have to go and seek that knowledge and then apply that knowledge so that we can lift ourselves up. So I think Jargon was right in his analysis. Just the word perhaps were offensive.
Well,
I pass the mic.
Elvis, I
Let
thank
me
you
say this,
for.
right? Let me say
Can I,
this.
can
Let me
I, can
say
I just,
this.
can I just comply,
No,
please,
hold on,
please,
hold on, hold on, hold
Oh,
on.
no,
please
no, no,
now.
no, 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 no.
Hold on.
Actually,
Oh dear! You see,
go
when
ahead.
we argue, my
No,
man
no,
won't
no.
allow
It's
the
not about
conversation to
arguing.
go on.
It's not
Hold
about
on,
arguing.
nobody's arguing. It's just,
No, unfortunately, I and this other guy,
No,
we
it's not an
spoke at the same
argue.
time. If we
The
didn't,
difference is
if he just allowed
no,
me,
no,
I
no.
think you would have allowed me as
The
well.
difference is right.
Jagun
It's
should respond
it's
because Elvis was talking to
I
him.
believe that's what I
So I
believe. That's
think
what I believe.
no, no, no,
Jagun
no.
is
I
saying
gotta
something.
pass. I gotta pass it to Dre because Dre's been waiting.
All right,
Yeah.
Dre.
Thank you.
Come on, Dre.
Thank
Come on, Dre.
All right. So as far as like the topic at hand, as far in terms of Megan Good and you said Jonathan Majors, right? Seeking citizenship in what you said, Ghana. Is it
Bruh,
Ghana or
he's Guinea.
oh Guinea? My bad. In terms of what it means for us, well, for one, most Black Americans do not have passports, so that already is not going to be realistic for us to seek citizenship in other, in nations in Africa. And then two, even when we talk about Africa as a whole, yeah, countries have borders. So I understand that like Pan-Africanists want borderless um, places, but it's not realistic, because you have to have structure. Nobody, if everything's borderless, that means that you have no rules, you have no regulations, you have no thing like that. Just like with America, like okay, America has a border between Mexico and itself as well as Canada. Nobody's gonna just tell you to just enter into their country. That's just not how things work. So I think that type of thing is just kind of kind of like wishful thinking. And then as far as like you know repatriating to Africa, I think we have to be real about Africa in general. I'm not saying that every place in Africa is bad or is a bad infrastructure, but we have to be realistic. Um, there are parts of Africa where they don't have access to electricity, they don't have access to water, they don't have access to other infrastructure. So why would I trade moving from a developed country to a developing country? I just don't understand that. I don't understand why some Pan Africanists recommend that we move to a place that's even worse off than where we live. And of course, I don't like America all the way either, because I think that we should consider other places. But if the places are not fully developed, then why should we move there? I'm just asking the Pan Africanists on the panel.
So we could develop them, and that's the industry, right? And where there's a
Thank you.
problem, there's an industry. So of course,
No,
if
no.
we're
Can,
gonna
You
move,
see,
can
the
I?
thing is, to be honest,
that's
that
because
guy,
Now we got to pass it to
that
Shy.
guy
Let's
who's
get
our
everybody
spoke.
take on it
Thank you.
first. Then
Thank you,
Shy something.
guys.
Jackson, you can't always
Thank you.
interrupt,
Thank
Jackson.
you. New speaker.
Yeah,
Thank you,
go ahead.
guys. I appreciate it.
Our new speaker.
A new speaker. That's me, Sha.
Come on, true, Shah.
Jagoon.
Yes,
Jagoon and
sir. Yes, sir.
Elvis. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
I'm losing it over. Okay, so then let me say this. If it is the case what you and Elvis just said, then they must have took when they took us out the continent of Africa, that was the brain drain, and then whoever was left was the ones that are like saying this shit y'all saying. But if our history is correct, if pre-Islamic Kumbi Saleh and pre-Islamic Timbuktu was intelligent and universities was there, we didn't need Islam for anything. And if Egypt or Kemet is what it was supposed to, is said to what it have been, how can you fix your mouth to say we don't have the intelligence or the capacity to build nations? So
I
what
didn't
I
say
have to
that. I
discern
didn't
from
say that.
that,
Yes, you
that's
did.
what
Yes, you did. Yes, you
No,
you
I
did.
said
Yes,
said.
you
that we
did.
are
You said
stupid.
You
we
and
don't
That's
have
what
the
Elvis
I
are the
said.
you
capacity.
and
You
Elvis
said
are the
we're
same,
stupid.
but you're
You said we're
disguising.
stupid.
You and Elvis are
And
the same. You're
then
just
Look, my
disguising.
brother.
That's why
let
you
me
say
finish.
You
Let me
see,
your
the
finish.
last
thing
name
is,
is
the thing
stupid.
is,
Let me
Your
finish.
this
Hold
thing
last
is.
on.
name is
Hold
Wait,
on.
stupid.
Jacob, that
Your
wasn't
Let
for
last
you
name
to
Shah
is
answer,
finish.
stupid.
Let him
Rodney.
finish.
Elvis.
Let him
That
finish.
wasn't
Can
for
you
you
stop
to
interrupting
answer,
the guy,
Jacob.
please?
Just
That
disguise
wasn't
it.
for you
That's
to
all it is.
answer. Hold on.
all
Hold
right,
on.
Shah.
Hold on.
All
Hold
right,
on.
Shah.
Hold
Let
on.
him finish.
Let me finish. I'm almost finished.
Yes,
So
sir.
to the brother, right, that was saying, why should we move to a place that's less developed? Because something to think about. As AI moves into position in the next 3 to 5 years, there's going to be major job losses, and those job losses will be around the types of jobs that deal with thinking. What else? I'm trying to you understand what kind of jobs where the service industry's job won't be affected right away until
Soft
robotics come in
skills,
place.
all the
Hold
soft
on, let me
skills
finish. Let me
professions.
finish, please. Let me finish. So the in Africa, it's going to be a totally different thing in terms of how that development will affect the continent of Africa because of where it's at in development. It's 60, 70 years behind in some cases. So we need to be thinking about as African Americans how in the diaspora, if we are have this level of exposure and professional industry intelligence or whatever, that we think about where Africa's at in its development and how we can go into Africa and where it's at, be able to help Africa build Africa, and as well make ourselves relevant and be able to employ ourselves, because we're going to be put out of a job, most of the people that are here that are not doing service industry stuff. And then eventually robotics is going to put a lot of those jobs out too. So that's where everything is moving, and we have to take that into consideration as we are thinking about our future. I'll land right there. Thank you.
Well done, Shah. Can I quickly
Um.
come back in now to
Yeah.
defend
Yeah.
my
After you.
name?
After you. After
Please,
you. Go ahead. Go
please,
ahead.
please
After you.
allow me. I spoke first. Please.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now,
Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
guys. Okay, very good. Thank you. Shah, Dre, and Elvis, all three of you, well spoken. Those people who come up with emotional ineptitude, the word I use, stupid, was purposeful. It was purposeful to see how emotional people are going to get with one word against everything else I said. And you all fell into that trap. Emotional idiocy. This is who we are. I'm trying to make points of us because we don't seem to understand that who we are is who is governing us. Now, if you have a nation like Nigeria, that has the intelligence to build a nation and to show an example for the whole world over the last 64 odd years and still yet have not done so. You have to look at who is leading. When you look at the difference from who led us at the beginning of when you call Nigeria Nigeria, and the difference as to the people who are leading Nigeria now, then we know that we are electing, or we have people usurping power and running us. And most of those people are criminals. But we are, as people, onlooking, and we've seen crime by our leaders taking place. And we are here sitting down, and we don't surmise that this is not stupidity now. This is not stupidity. At the core of that, the meaning of that word. You see, words have meanings. But you see, when we get emotional, it means that you're trying to use your dick to have communication as opposed to your mind. And these are the things I'm not playing with you people. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. You see, the thing is, we have to be real. The urgency that we are entering into, nobody is showing urgency. You tell me which leader amongst us is showing the urgency that we need to recover the space lost, the time lost in the last 400 years. You tell me who's the leader amongst us who is
Dangote.
leader. It is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. But us, we don't want to be abused. He's abusing me. I'm offended. You idiots. Look here. My brother who asked the question, why do you want me to separate myself from a developed nation into a nation that is not developed and I can't even see it becoming developed? That is a proper question, I'm afraid. You might think that it's an idiotic question, but it's a proper question. Why should somebody come to a dust bowl? Why? Why should someone come? You see, when you are developing a nation, the people that move first are not always the people that get the benefit of them moving. The people that move after and grow the thing some more, they sometimes can realize the benefit. And then you know what happens? Experts move in and all the run of the mill people move in. And then we create a nation. It happens in time. But you know,
But
us,
but
wait, let me land.
why did the Germans
Let
move
him finish.
from
Let him finish. Let him
Germany?
finish. Let him finish.
Thank you.
Let him
Thank you.
finish.
I will say this. The person who spoke,
I'm not on this. Yeah, go on. But
No,
yeah,
no, no. I got
let's
him. I
not
got
make
him.
this long-winded.
I'm gonna come from. I'm
the
gonna come from.
person who spoke
Man, I know what
about,
type
I
of
think it
African
was,
he is.
can I finish, please? The person who spoke, I think it was Dre, I may be wrong, it may have been Shah, who spoke about what the Chinese did in order to ascertain their intelligence in going forward as a nation. It's something called wisdom. And he spoke about exactly how that wisdom took place. They did not just learn from the British, they took from the Russians, they took from the Japanese, and they took from America. They took. Now, they don't just take, they steal. And they will tell you that they've stolen this information. That's how bold they have become. That's how you build a nation. These are examples. We, as a Yoruba man, I will speak. My brother who is Omoba, now Prince, they call himself. Now Prince in B now, Omoba. Listen, if you understand the Ifa at all, people claim it that they understand, but they don't understand nothing. I can tell you that categorically, that they understand zero. The Ifa is not spook magook, as people may claim it to be. That person who's breathing like a
You're
cow.
going into you're going off on a tangent. I
I'm
just want to
not
say
going off. I'm not going off.
no,
I'm
no.
talking about
Yeah, this
wisdom.
is
Yeah,
getting
go on. I
boring.
think
This is
we should
getting
take the
boring
next
now.
30 seconds and wrap up, brother. We got to pass the mic.
All right, let me do that. Let me take the
Yeah,
next 30 seconds and wrap
this
up.
is getting a bit
You want to
boring
say
now.
E5. I mean, not that it's not relevant,
All
but
right, all right. I understand the kind of audience this is. I understand. Let me take the next. Let me take the next 30 seconds as given and wrap up. Thank you very much. I just hope that people are listening as opposed to just objecting. The wisdom that is in our country and that African space is immense. I'm not taking away from anything I'm calling stupid. I'm saying that when you have prowess and you have management and you can see that a black man against one white man, a black man in any subject matter or anything has beaten him hands down. But a group of us together, we become stupid. I'll end there. Thank you.
Can I just say really quickly what the Germans
hold on,
did?
sir. Hold on, sir. I beg you, real quick.
Yeah, please give a man a chance to speak.
1 minute. When you look at African elites, right? Let's just say politicians and presidents, right? Majority of them do get the education from Westerners. You know, they can speak perfect English, they can speak big words and stuff like that, right? So then this idea that these men and these women that govern us, they are stupid. No. They chose to look like they're stupid. Their game is to make sure that these, like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever country they come from, not to be developed. They do it on purpose. Somebody to come up here saying, "Oh my God, like Africans are stupid" or whatever it is, right? I completely take that as an insult. For you being
You're
a
easily
British
insulted now.
person over 60 years,
Jargon.
you went over there since you were goddamn 4 years old, and then you want to come up here and call Africans stupid. Come on, man.
Give it,
Come on.
motherfucker.
And then at the same time,
Come on,
at the same
Jagon. Let's
time,
not do that.
All right, man. All right.
Hey, guy,
Thanks,
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
guy.
yeah,
Let's be
it's childish
respectful.
now,
Let's be
actually. You know,
respectful.
it's very childish,
Can we
actually,
get that?
Javi.
But
no,
why
no,
did the
Very
because
childish.
Germans?
because he because
Why
he
did the
at the same
Germans
time, right?
leave Nazi Germany in in the
At the same
early
time,
late
at the same time.
1930s, and they came to United States because they were under attack? And guess what? 50 million African Americans. Weird. All of this shit that's happening now in this country is looking like 1930s Germany for
No,
real.
it's
Now I'm
not.
not even
Stop.
joking.
Stop.
Not
No, it's
even
not.
joking.
You're exaggerating. Stop it.
No, no, no,
Listen,
no. Look
isolated.
at what look at what
No,
ICE is
no,
doing.
no, no, no,
Look at
no.
what ICE
Listen,
is
isolate,
doing.
no,
And
man.
not only ICE though, look at what United States is doing. And I'm just saying that
I mean, listen.
the environment in which we're
It's-
in is conducive to something like that happening. And I'm saying that already as it is, we've been marginalized, and we've been everything that has happened to us, we struggle to try to build. So why not see the writing on the wall as things are not going to get better for us, 50 million of us. Things are not getting better for us, and it's going to be more and more of a struggle and an uphill battle for us to develop as a people. In fact, we're scheduled to be, our projections are we're going to be at zero wealth in another 15 years. So why not
uh,
look at
I
the
get what
writing
you're
on the
saying. I get what
wall
you're
The
saying.
and go
also,
somewhere else where the
uh,
development
um,
is at a certain
Sean,
place,
let me
and
add
we
this,
take
right?
the knowledge that we have. I'm going to add what I said before to this, that we go over into place where we can add value to the society, especially at the development at where they're at, especially with where we're at here and what's going on here. It just makes sense, doesn't it?
yeah,
Let
sure.
me
Can
add
I add
this,
one
right?
thing there? Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I
Let me
mean,
Sorry,
add this
Bang.
real
One
quick,
second.
right?
You see,
Let me add
one
this real
second.
quick, right?
Bang. 1 second. Let me
Yeah,
just say
go ahead,
one
bro. Go
thing,
ahead.
right? What Shah just said, he made some valid point, but I think he's exaggerated a little bit. I'll give you a good example. I work in the precision engineering industry. These industries are laying out staff left, right, and center. And right now, they're sending, most of them are sending their stuff back to China to be manufactured there and actually brought back here so they can sell it into the EU and other markets, right? And
This I
the thing is, the future angle, the future that we're living in now, those engineers that used to go to university and spend, so much money and use all their brain to manufacture a component, maybe for Airbus, for example, right? They don't need to do that anymore. These components are being distributed within their own market area, according to the deals that they got, and they've been manufactured by machines. And all we do now, the most important thing moving forward is whoever got the mineral resources, those basically those special minerals that we're talking about at the moment, like the lithium, the aluminium. Aluminium at the moment is very very popular in the new tech moving forward. So whichever country got aluminium and titanium in the next few generations to come will be making a lot of money because it's a lighter material. So now
and then
they are using, no, 1 second, let me finish. They're buying the materials, right? That's been refined, and they're plugging it in the machines doing everything for them. But at the moment, they haven't got, not a lot of companies got that technology yet. I would say about 5%, and I've supplied them. The majority of them used to have the basic lathe machine that you have to go to university to study to actually learn to operate, and that they're dying out. Those are getting old. Most of these guys are supplied the old engineers. Now the new generation, the Gen Z now, they are moving to the ones that they can just program and plug it in, program and plug it in. This program and plug it in now, you don't have to go to university for it. You can go just to college for that. And then the next one that's coming out, the AI, they're not going to be in leading the college student anymore because I mean you can see how they cut in cost, you know, in terms of their employees, to make more money and actually enable to manufacture more stuff. So whoever got the mineral resources that they need at that time is who is going to be laughing, and that's where the world is going to put their focus at. And it's going to be
and
based on interest. It's not based on race. It's not going to be based on anything else. It's all about their own personal interest. I'll pass it on.
yeah, man. And then also a quick word thing, real quick, right? So some people that come up here and think, oh, China just copy and paste everything. That's how their country is. Let's not go too far because China had some type of advance, right? Before the Western came. You understand me, right? So let's not act like the West did not copy from other nations when they were ruling the world. Let's not act like the British Empire did not copy other nations. You understand me, right? Let's not act like when the French was, the Dutch was ruling the world. They did not copy other nations. Let's not act like America don't pick brains from other countries as well and then bring it to America. So you understand me, right? This idea is like, oh my God, the Chinese are like developed because of they copy the West. It's because of the West. They copy the West. That's completely ludicrous. I mean, obviously they copy some type of ways, but let's just not act like the Chinese are not smart. The Chinese did not, develop technologies as well. It's like you watching action movies, right? You go back in the 70s, the Chinese action movies used to dominate. The Americans copy the Chinese when it comes to action movies up to this day. So nations copy from people. You copy from good things. You don't copy from bad things. So, and then
No, I
these
agree with
like,
that.
yeah, but people come up here act like these are the same African leaders that come over in America, have college degrees, high IQs, but then they go back to their countries, act like they don't know how to govern. It's
I want to
ludicrous.
say
And
something.
the Germans were more advanced than we were in the United
Yeah,
States
come
in
up
many
there, man.
ways.
You
They
goddamn
brought
call
they
yourself,
Right,
brought
call yourself
their
a
top
goddamn robot.
scientists
right,
left Germany and came to the United States
right.
and advanced nuclear energy and
Yeah,
weaponry.
So
So
yeah.
and
The
I,
if
thing
and,
is,
if it
and
if
I'm
it
using
if it
that
if it
analogy.
wasn't
it,
I'm using that analogy as one in which
yes,
African Americans in the
right.
diaspora go to
Mm.
Africa. We'll be more knowledgeable in certain areas about things. We can bring that
This
to
is
the
what
continent.
I want to
this
In your
is
say
what you did
60s,
in
something.
man,
Sierra Leone. This is
95% of
what
your
they did.
life is
No,
in
bang,
England.
bang, bang.
You
This is
coming
what
up
Black
here
American
calling
did in
people
Sierra
stupid.
Leone.
Yo,
Jagun,
papa,
Jagun, look, learn from this, right? The Black Americans and the Caribbean came to Sierra Leone, right? They
yo,
established
papa is stupid.
the first university in the whole Black Africa, modern day university, and then they used that. They transformed that knowledge. Even you probably know about Ajay Crowther,
Of course, I try to
yeah.
my
Thank you,
I know too much about
thank you, Jagun.
my brother, like
Yeah,
you.
and they
Like
managed to say, yeah, of
I'm a
course.
student
No, I
of
understand.
history.
Yeah. Yes, yes. But the thing is, what we need to do, yeah, to be honest with you, when you bring in Nigeria and this topic, the only thing I can say, me personally, I think us in the far west, like people in the Mano River Union, we need to focus on our own stuff and let you Nigerian do your own thing. Because at the moment, the
Oh,
way West Africa is going, we need to form blocks because there's going to be a lot of how do you call it? I don't know how to describe it
Challenges.
there's challenges between us.
I
It might
I
have to
agree.
be, yeah.
I want to
So
say something,
yeah,
guys. You know.
Can I just come in
yeah,
real briefly?
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah. Go
guys.
on, Jack.
You know, this whole conversation we're having is very important, and there
Mm.
are young voices and there are old voices, and we all have to be listened to. I understand and respect that, but there is a way we need to communicate that leaves out our emotion. Yes, we are human beings and we are emotional, but you see, this is a game of intellect. This is a game of intellect. Somebody just mentioned that whoever finds the mineral resources to push forward are going to be the winners. He's half correct. The real correction is whichever nation can reset first, quickest, that nation and their wisdom is going to propel them through this whole century as winners. We need to reset our minds in such a way that the mineral resources that we have and how to make use of them is understood by us. If West Africa can find it politically to come together, including all of the French francophone countries, so to speak, if these people can come together, that is a power block that the world would not be able to challenge. I'm telling you
Good
this
points.
out of
Yeah, but
deep thoughts
yeah,
and deep analysis. I'm not just
yeah.
winging it and speaking from
Okay.
my ass. I'm not doing that like many
Okay.
people
All
like to
right.
do.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
land it
Okay.
I
there.
want
Yeah,
to
good.
say
Good
All right, no,
point.
something.
I
I want to say
got to pass it
something
to
here.
Jonathan Miller. John, go ahead, Jonathan Miller. Mute yourself.
Right on, Diner. Shut up. But in terms of development, where would y'all expect a country like Nigeria to be at in its current state? Like the last time I went to Nigeria, I just got back to America. I was there about maybe 10, 11 days ago. From the first time that I went to Nigeria in 2018, 2019, one of them, it was completely like to me backwards. But as over the course of the years, it's became more modern, more modern, more modern in terms of, I mean, at least Abuja, Lagos, Calabar, um, Benin, in certain areas, it's becoming very modern. So where exactly would y'all like a country like Nigeria to be, for example, in comparison to who?
To Ivory
Comparison
Coast,
to
to Senegal,
Singapore or the United Arab Emirates or
Like
anywhere.
I said,
Ivory Coast.
like I
They
said
haven't
on a
made. They're not.
panel,
There's
like
no
I
other
said,
countries
like I
that
said,
that's producing a population of young human beings like Africa. To be honest, we don't have to be like any of the nations because we'll probably die out. We need to adapt to our own, to what we're already doing, and use technology to do that. That's
so
simple. Everyone
this
has
is
a
the
phone.
thing. To answer his question, right? Because a lot of times what we're doing is we're comparing two things constantly or multiple things. We're comparing Nigeria to America. We are. To China, to Japan, to the United Arab Emirates. That's what we're doing in reality in this discussion. So the thing is, he is asking, where do we want to see it, right? And like I said, in Africa, I show speed. That's what he's showing in a sense. He's showing that all these technologies that exist everywhere in the world are also on the continent of Africa. The only difference is one of the main differences is it is not distributed widely across the society. So Nigeria, for instance, what percentage of people have hooked up to the grid, the electrical grid? If you come to America, it might be 90 something percent. And the people that are not, they might be choosing not to be. In Nigeria, in some areas, you might not have an option. The road network, it might be in the big cities, in Abuja, it might be fine. But you try to get out to the countryside or something, it's a different issue. But if you come to America, which is like comparing number one or top five with another place, which is not necessarily just fair, but we're comparing two things anyway. You can drive across this country on a paved road, 2,000 plus miles. Now, someone said that we need to learn from each other essentially. And yes, that's the key thing. We have to learn from other people and from ourselves. And in reality, it's going to be difficult, I think, to form a block first. You got to build a successful country. They're successful, but more successful model in Africa that other people will start to follow, and then these blocks will become stronger because you have those blocks already. But a lot of people on these panels, they'll be complaining about those same blocks that already exist. Just like you have
Yes.
Europeans in Europe complain about the European Union. Of course, the
So
block's not going to be perfect, but you have to build a model that people can see success, and then people like to follow success, and they tap into success as they see it.
So if that happens politically, right, building blocks, and then after you get the political thing together, then you start to build the physical, the infrastructure together. If that has to happen 54 times, because there's 54 countries, that's going to take forever. But if it happens where you have three or four major countries, and I'm taking this from white boy Jeffrey Sachs, who made this statement. I like what he said, and I'm going to tell you where I got it from. Right, so this white boy Jeffrey Sachs is doing an interview with somebody, and he's allegedly a Pan-Africanist, right? But he made a good point when he said that if you take four of the strongest countries in Africa, they're able to integrate politically. They have the will to do it, and they do it. Four of the largest countries, that would be what? Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa. I don't know, but let's just say
Egypt,
South Africa,
Egypt.
and the AES. And we take those, the AES as one country. I don't even want to include Nigeria. I don't even want to include and really, to be honest with you, Ethiopia. The problem with them is they don't have the political will to want to see a one Africa. So really, I mean, if we really realistically look at it, there are no four countries that would be willing to come together in order to um, build Africa. Integrate Africa politically,
Brother Shaw,
economically,
Hey,
and
hey,
brother
hey, Shaw,
Shaw.
Shaw,
militaristically.
hold on. Let Shaw. I got to pass the collar. Go ahead, Shaw. When you're done.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much I'm saying that none of those, no four countries. But if we were to say what four countries, we could come up with that. But the military has to be there because if you build a refinery, a $20 billion refinery in Nigeria, and you can't protect it, that's not good. That's really bad. So as we're building these things, the military and food sovereign security or sovereignty has to happen at the same time. I'll land right there.
All right, go ahead, caller. Unmute yourself, caller. Well, let me unmute you. Hold on. Go ahead, caller.
We're just saying, look, what's up, Dynas? What's up, panel and everybody here? Um, Here's the issue, right? Is Africa the question you need to ask? And I've asked it those times. You know, it's been in Africa several times. Is Africa serious about developing first world, and does it really believe that everybody deserves a first world way of life as a birthright? The answer is no, because I get a lot of pushback telling me that, Colin, man, you go to Africa, why don't you learn how to live the African way of life? Why don't you learn how to walk 2 miles for a bucket of water? Why don't you learn how to, all this stupid stuff, or take a dump in a latrine, instead of having indoor toilet. So basically, if you, as long as you have this mentality that anything developed is Western, right? You're never going to get any place. We're just playing games. Once you make that decision that, like the Japanese did during the Meiji said, we want to modernize Japan. China said, we're going to modernize. We're going to leave the old way. We'll keep the old spirit, but we're going to modernize, right? Africa is the only place where there's modernization is a conundrum. The only place on the planet. South America and Central America have made way more progress than Africa has. And those countries were poor in Africa 60 years ago. But then you got places like Bolivia, everyone's on the grid. Everyone has electricity. Most people have running water. That's not even people working in the dark and stuff like that, not having street lights and stuff like that. It's unheard of in Central and South America. But it's still like a luxury, a bragging right in Africa. But as long as that mentality is there, right? We could talk about the minerals all we want. And another thing is this: how many African countries, right, will concede sovereignty to the African Union on anything? Of the port authority in Africa. You got all these ports in West Africa, right? How come there's not one shipping authority, right, that has all the synchronization, everything like that, that hands out permits, landing permits, unloading, all that under one organization? Why? Because each country got their own little side deal going on and stuff like that. So, so for the point where Africa can't develop their own shipping industry because all these countries work independently. So if Africa doesn't want to have a continental aviation authority, a continental peacekeeping force, a continental shipping and logistics, like a port authority, what are we talking about? You got to give something. Africa has not conceded one bit of sovereignty. Now they conceded sovereignty to the Chinese. Chinese, I think, own and operate an airport in Zambia, right? The Europeans, have infrastructure on the continent, but no African country will concede sovereignty to another black country.
That's why those 3 or 4 countries are going to have to take Africa.
How you going to force? You going to force them?
Yep.
Well,
We have
guys,
to ask
this is
permission.
where I just want to come in real quick because both Shah and Carla are really speaking to us. What Carla has just underlined is the status quo of West Africa, particularly, and this is why I say the way to go, not to secede. We have enough problems in each country. I'm telling you, let alone to try and bring a whole West Africa together. But if we were to achieve bringing West Africa together, that power would not be. Now, I put it to you all that the problems that Carla speaks of, particularly, are real. They're not pretense. They're not pretend. They're real problems. And which means that in order to engage and to communicate these things, it's not going to be a piece of. West Africa can be achieved within 5 years. Mark my words. But it's skill of communication, of political violence that will take us there. What we've been trying for the past 60 years in West Africa, we can see clearly it has failed. What Shah speaks about in terms of South Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt, and possibly Nigeria, as much as he questions Nigeria, and I back him in questioning Nigeria. Nigeria is a highly questionable place. I'm a Nigerian, and I know that it's pure kerfuffle, backwardness, pure cutthroat that's running in that country with all the love, with all the culture, and with all everything else that we have beating for us in that nation. The fact of the matter is, we here, we are the people. I'm telling you this for free. The diaspora is going to be the answer, the solution bearers for the African continent. I don't care what nobody says. The answers are not going to come from within Africa. As much as Africa has prowess, it's going to come from those of us who are living in the diaspora, have an understanding and a different viewpoint on how this whole world works.
Okay, let me pass it to Nigel. Go
We
ahead,
can see
Nigel.
clearly that it doesn't work in Africa. Full stop.
Go ahead, Nigel.
Thanks for having me, Diners. Greetings, everyone, and to you, Diners, and the panelists, the chat, and the viewers. I think I was saying it in the chat already that in terms of breaking free, that's how I look at it. We have to figure out a way to break free, and I think you just need one significant nation on the continent to succeed and to spur the others on. I remember I saw a video of Museveni of Uganda saying it, and this is something I've also said myself, but he put it in a different way. He used this term center of gravity, that almost every group in the world has a center of gravity. He mentioned NATO relying on America, and then the Asians relying on the Chinese and groups like that. And on the continent, in Africa, we will need one nation to emerge. And from what I can see so far, given what Trump is doing recently and the way nations are behaving, I see the Nigerian government acting quite timidly because they are extremely weak. But if you look at the nations that tend to fight for independence, they are the ones that tend to be quite radical. If you look at the way South Africa is behaving, they are not in any mood to listen to Trump at all. And South Africa is a founding member of BRICS. They just carried out a military exercise with China, Russia, Iran, and a few other countries. This is a country that is not scared of anybody. And they are, remember, people forget, South Africa is a nuclear energy nation. They already they have nuclear materials already. And the elite class is mostly dominated by Europeans, but it's still majority black nation. And they are a people that fought for their freedom, and it means that to an extent they have an element of freedom. And who knows, in this world that Trump has created, whereby everybody is on their own, it might give them a chance to break out. Technically, the South Africans are even more advanced than the Iranians, and you can't say that about many other African countries. So, and they have infrastructure, they have quite a few other things. It's a shame. I would like it to be Nigeria, as a Nigerian myself. I would like it to be maybe Kenya, but it's not. Those countries are too heavily compromised at the moment.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Downful, Africa. To learn more, visit downful.africa.
All right, we're back.
Dennis, can I ask?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, bro. What are your thoughts? This subject matter that we're on now. You know, a lot of the times I know from watching you even before you started these podcasts or these sessions that you are engrossed with a forward focus on Africa, Nigeria particularly.
Mm-hmm.
What is your understanding of the subject that we're speaking about? Please, I would like just to know.
Well, we jump from subject to subject. So what are we on now?
Okay, that's
No,
true
he's
enough.
referring to the
As far as
development.
development, that's where we're at now,
I think
correct?
The unification of Africa.
Unification.
Yeah.
Unification and development, and who we are in the world, and who we want to be in this world.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you too, Nigel. Hold on, too, Nigel. Jagun,
Yeah,
so
let Diners
I
respond.
do agree. It's going to take the diaspora, the large, in large part, and large effort to help with the development of Africa. When I mean diaspora, the diaspora from the individual countries. So I agree with that. As far as development, I just think we're not serious.
Wow.
You're still blunt with the truth.
I mean, some countries are, but I just think
No, he got a
the
great
amount,
point. He got a
I
great
just
point.
I just think the amount of
Perfect.
I just think the amount of greed and corruption. We're just not serious.
What about Dangote building a refinery
God
in
bless you, fam.
Zimbabwe?
God bless
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Diners.
Again, we'll see. For every Dangote, you got a guy in northern Nigeria like Jumi who wants to coddle Fulani herdsmen terrorists. You can't develop. You can't develop that.
That's not true.
That is true.
Of course, it's
No,
true.
That is
that's not
true.
true. Come on.
Who's saying that? Who? Can you identify yourself?
I don't think there's anything. There's
Nigeria is
never
a
been
special
anything.
country.
Sorry,
It's a
sorry.
special country.
There has never
It's a
been anything
special
like
country.
Dangote in the last 30 years or so.
Yeah. I think that go to do it, but it's just when you have. In fact, I was
It's a
reading.
special country,
In
man.
fact, I was reading somewhere yesterday where I forgot which state in Nigeria, somewhere in the north, they want to like release all of the bandits, let them go as part of
That's
like some
not true,
kind of
Dennis.
that it is freaking true. What are you talking
currently,
about?
right? Let me tell you
I wouldn't be
something.
making it.
Currently,
I wouldn't be making it. I
Dennis,
wish I was making this up.
Dennis. You know currently right now, right? Under Tinubu right now, there's a lot of T groups from the north that's being charged with terrorists, right? With terrorism right now as we speak, in court as we speak. But after they
I don't see them. What are you saying
no,
about? I've never seen that. Let me see.
you know that, man. Come on,
Who's the
you know
person
that, man.
speaking? I can't see who the person speaking is. Sorry.
Man,
Yeah,
you know
so
that, man.
I think, to be honest, Nigerian
I'm
problem
not saying you
is
are wrong, but I've not seen any report of that apart from Nnamdi
yeah.
Kanu.
Honestly, I have
right before
seen
him, there was
Diners,
a
right?
cop.
I have seen a court full of arrested bandits in Zamfara in the court about
In the federal
a
court of Nigeria.
massive lump of them Diners, right? Not one of them on the whole thing that was a Fulani. Not one single one. The thing is, cattle herders there are no.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Radical Islamists. We'll say
Terrorists.
radical Islamists. There we go. I'm sorry.
You see the problem. No, I understand. I understand.
We'll say radical Islamists.
Thank you. And the problem is, right, because the hardest fruit being taken away from them because of development, and then they feel disgruntled all over the Sahel and the global, obviously the desertification in the north. So a lot of them was recruited by these jihadists to fight for them because they know the territory very well. So now they are part of the movement spread in the Sahel. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. I would say, for example, if you bring an average Fulani looking person in Nigeria, or some like some other group of tribes in the Sahel, you will not separate them because these people they've got the similar phenotype and they all do one thing have one thing in common. They tie their head like ninjas. So for the average Nigerian, seeing that
Besides
person,
even that, right?
straight away they're gonna think
Besides
it's the
even that,
Fulani. It's my
I think you are doing
besides
you
even
are
that,
kind of
besides
doing
even
that
that, right?
that shuffle that they always do. So hold on. I think you are doing that shuffle. Don't stop. I don't like people that try to whitewash things. We know in Nigeria that there are
I
Fulani
know
head.
they got
Let him
Fulani headquarters, they
finish
Let
got
me
one
say
Boko
what
at a
I'm
Haram.
saying.
time.
Let me finish what I'm saying. There are
It
Fulani
is Gagan,
headsmen
yeah.
Sorry,
that feel
sorry.
aggrieved by the way they were treated in some communities. But we also know
Yeah.
Fulani headsmen have gone around doing a lot of damage in communities, causing a lot of loss of life within this
Ben,
area.
that is true also, Ben. You gotta remember that,
So
yeah? What
let's
United
not
just said.
Hold
whitewash
on.
it.
Yes,
Hold on,
yes. But yeah.
hold on. One second. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to myself and tell myself, oh, Fulanis in Nigeria don't commit crimes. Or Fulanis in Nigeria are not bad. I'm not gonna say it completely lie. Yeah, of course they
No,
are.
somebody, yeah, somebody had it, yeah.
Now let's
Somebody
let's
so-called
get this
had it.
clear, right?
Yeah.
Let's get this clear. Let's get this clear. Herdsmen, right? It's not a Fulani. Not every herdsman are Fulani. This
That's
idea,
true.
if I see somebody with cows walking around, it's automatically a Fulani. Let's
Yeah, the attacks are
understand that
associated
now.
with them because they speak the
Let's
That whoever's
language.
to
speaking can't be
Niger,
a Nigerian.
The language that they
Let's
speak is
understand
what
that
they
now.
use to associate the attacks to
No,
them.
let's
They
understand that
speak
now.
the
Let's
deep
understand it
Fulbe
now.
language.
No,
Yes,
to
yes,
Niger,
yes.
to
Some
Niger.
of them speak,
Okay, to
some of
Niger.
them might do.
Every
Just some of them is
every cows, is it belong to a Fulanis? Some of
No,
those chiefs,
I just told
some of those
you when
elite
some of those
Nigerians
attacks
that are not
happen,
even from the
they
south.
speak the language. That is how people associate the attackers to being
No,
Fulanis,
no, 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 no,
not
no, no, no,
necessarily
no, no,
because
no.
they are just
No,
herders.
that's a lie. That's a lie too, Niger. Stop it. That's a lie. That's a
What do
lie.
you mean
That's a
that's
lie.
a lie?
Look at that.
That's a
Who's
lie.
speaking?
That's a
I
no,
need to
lie.
know who the
Ben,
person
They call
speaking.
him a
Oh,
liar.
Ben,
Like
can I okay, I was
he has
speaking,
gone
yeah.
through all the
Ben.
hassle.
Okay, listen. Ben, I was speaking, yeah. What I'm trying to say is right. There are Fulani Fula people who are herders who were disgruntled by how the system
Because of
treat
they
them,
stole
and
their cows.
also no, yeah, because of cattle rustling, and also because of different reasons. For whatever reason, they decided to go and join this terrorists and commit atrocity. Okay, we cannot defend that. We cannot lie to ourselves. But also, there are other tribes in the Sahel who are part of that movement, much more bigger, probably in numbers than the Fulani, but because they all dress
Like the
and look
Mandinka.
similar way. No, I would not name tribe like Mandinka or Bambara or all this because
And
that
guys,
is not going to help.
let me
That's not
read this
going to help.
article. Let me read this article real quick. Katsina
Okay.
government defends move to free 70 suspected bandits. The state commissioner for internal security and home affairs, Nazir Muazu, said the action was intended to consolidate a peace deal reached between affected communities and repentant bandits. You can't make this up. I don't want to finish the article.
No, go
Yes,
ahead, Dennis. Go
that is true.
I mean, you can't
No, go
encourage
ahead.
development like
That is
No,
I mean,
true.
you see,
hold on,
Dennis.
Jagoon. I'm to the point now. Let the North just let them just go.
No, Dennis.
wow.
I mean,
Wow.
Okay,
you
It's not that
can't.
simple. Let me explain what is
okay,
going on there.
okay.
Hold
To
on,
Niger, where you from?
hold on. You don't know what
Where
is
you
going
from
on.
in
Let me
Nigeria?
explain. You're not even
Where you from in
Nigerian.
Nigeria?
Calm down. Let me explain what's going on.
But
See,
What is your
let him
state?
speak.
can you calm down? See, what is going on there is that some of these governors they sign deals with these bandits not to attack their states, and sometimes the bandits renege on the agreement that they have after they pay them and everything. Sometimes they even give them cars, and then they renege on their promise and start attacking again. The reason why they are able to do this with impunity because the Nigerian government is not there. When they see that the Nigerian government cannot tackle the bandits, what are people supposed to do? They go and start bribing the bandits not to attack them. That is where all this decay is occurring. And this is why I keep, when I tell Nigerians, you have to recruit into your security services. They refuse to do it. And that's what is causing what you are seeing here. Now the governors are pleading on behalf of bandits. Let them go because they know full well that if you prosecute these guys, tomorrow they will be attacked. The Nigerian government will not be
Most of
there.
them are coming from Niger
But
Republic. Most of them.
let me ask you a question. If there was a terror
Yeah, go on,
cell,
Dennis.
oh no, if there were a terror cell here in the United States of America, do you think Trump is going to negotiate with them?
I mean,
Didn't
Well
Trump
said.
no, but
I mean,
Well
Dennis,
come
said.
on, man.
did
I mean,
Trump
come on,
did
man.
Trump Didn't Trump
See,
release the
diners,
January
you
6th
might do the
attackers?
same thing yourself if
Oh,
nobody from your team.
Okay, Dennis.
listen. You can't compare the January 6th attackers to a
No,
herdsman.
I
Diners,
know, but
I
but
mean,
it's
you
come
it's
on.
it,
forget
it
I
that
mean,
too.
come
but
on.
I know
Saying
Diners.
that
I know that's
saying
a
that
big
America has
difference. I
complete
agree with you.
authority is different. But
Okay,
if you
Yeah,
Dennis.
don't have any protection, you will do
Dennis.
deals with people that can offer you protection. That's what is going on in
but
Nigeria.
bang. Let's be
Okay.
honest, bang. Yeah, bang. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about one thing, right?
I don't
The
think that.
impunity of how the fuller elites in the Nigerian government, who are part of the Nigerian machinery, that the impunity that they are, fairly those governors in the north, the how they're trying to create an upper class above another class to allow their own people to kill other people and let them free and look at the other people lower than what they are. These things we need to stop it as all African
Can
tribes,
I,
all
To
Fulani,
I
all
would
Nigerians
never.
as well,
I would
guys,
never.
Dennis,
when
in
you
terms
have
of
time,
that need to
please allow
stop.
me
Right?
space to speak.
Okay, let me just finish. That we need to stop that. But however, but there is a trend of African tribes who are always trying to look at the other tribe where they could actually, seek to either sabotage them or fight them, or because whatever way they can actually, if they see you doing well in certain aspect, they're trying to drag you down there, and that also need to stop.
and
I
and
think
and that's
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
no, I was
I
just
would
gonna
never.
say that's true
I
what
would
he
never.
just said too.
yeah,
It's the thing is
yeah.
that I don't think that they should
Because we're all
separate,
Africans.
but because the
They-
separation is still not going to solve the problem. Because what's going to happen when you separate is you're going to have a separate state that's going to large the same
Oh God.
attacks from externally. You see what I'm saying?
right,
Oh.
Now,
right.
I think what needs to happen is what
No, I
Tunai
think
just
you.
said.
I think you could deal with them differently if it's a
The thing is
separate
with
country.
Nigeria, and
Diners,
it
the
tells you,
North will always maintain dominance in that
you
country. That is the
see
reason
it
why
in
that is.
Nigeria. What's
No,
happening in
no,
It will
no.
never stop.
Nigeria?
The North can't. If the South comes together, they won't. But that
Okay.
said,
Okay.
I
the
will tell
South
One
you,
of the
is
they will
not
things,
always maintain
separating
dominance. They will
themselves.
always maintain
So
dominance.
can I
one
They
No,
can
of
I
they
the
won't.
suggest
things,
a
I don't know how people
solution?
that are not in Nigeria
Can I
know about
suggest a
Nigeria.
one of
solution?
the things that
You need
tonight
to
No.
go
No.
back
No.
to
No.
history.
May
Let
I
me.
suggest a
what I'm
Go back
solution?
to
saying
history.
is
A
what
solution
I'm
There is
is
saying
not
is
there is
that
not one
No.
southern
No. Let me say this. Let me say this
empire
real
or
quick.
influence that
one
have ever
second.
Let me say
dominated
this
the
real quick,
northern
right?
Sahelians.
Let me say this real
Africa,
quick.
what do you
Africa.
guys
Allow
think of
someone
this?
else to speak.
20
What
seconds.
Let
what
me
do you
say this
guys
real quick,
think?
right?
What do you guys think of
20
this?
seconds.
Yeah,
What do you
go
guys
on,
I'm
think
just
of
go on,
trying
Shaq.
this?
to I'm trying to say what
If Nigeria separates in an organized way and is reorganized geographically as part of this regional or a continental, and when I say continental, I'm not really including the Maghreb. I'm talking about south of the Sahara. That Nigeria becomes reorganized, but a state where you have these regions in the state, that you have the Biafra region, you have the Arewa region, you have the Oduduwa region. However it makes sense, you will have these regions that become their own states, and that is just there. Those are just recognized states in the
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 word for what you're saying is called regionalism, and
well,
Regionalism, yeah.
yeah, but
it's something that has
part
been
of
tried
a
before,
No. No.
and it's something that actually works in my reckoning. It's only the corruption that led us out of that and into the mayhem that you see Nigeria is because of the
But
North.
Jackson,
Wait
which
Let him
first.
finish. Let him
Don't
finish.
try
Let
and.
him
It's
finish.
not the North that I've caused been
no, let
quiet.
Jackson finish.
Let him finish. Let him
Listen,
You
finish.
let Jackson
Let him
finish.
finish.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
asked.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I
Jackson, go
asked
on.
Then I go.
Dinus the question. I asked. Listen, please. I asked Dinus a question purposely, and I'm really happy with what Dinus said. It was short and sweet, but it was precise. And I believe it was quite accurate. And I'm quite proud that at the time that Dinus has spent in Nigeria, he understands. Sometimes when we squabble about Nigeria and the rubbish problems that we have, I'm embarrassed because they're embarrassing issues. And I'm waiting for Americans to just point the finger and say, look at this rubbish. Why should I go and join rubbish like this? You see, we are funny people. I've been quite emotional spending in using words like stupid, inflammatory words like this. And I do it purposely. Because if we really think, I'm afraid that's where we're gonna end up. We're gonna end up having to admit our stupidity. Not because of emotion, that you people wanna tell me how big your penis is and use that
Oh,
emotion. Wait,
Okay.
I don't mean to
Well,
be
pause.
more.
Oh
Wait,
Lord,
please,
let
please
that
wait.
pause.
Okay, please
Come
wait.
on, man. We don't want
I
to
don't want
be
to.
big
I'm
man
Let
using
him
this
here.
finish,
language.
y'all. Let him finish.
Have some
Thank you,
self-respect.
guys. Please, just let me finish, please. I'm sorry about the language I'm using. I'm from Britain, and we use very expletive language. That's how we speak here. Now, I'll
I
just
grew up
say,
here as well.
I will say this: that Nigeria is the biggest problem in the black world.
Yeah,
we
I
are
agree with that.
standing we are standing in our own way. And I don't know whose voice, somebody with a really high pitched voice, who seems to be a Fulani apologist, who cannot see within himself that if he knows Nigeria at all, you know that Fulanis are the real problem of that nation. They have
I
oppressed their
disagree with that.
well, fair enough, but let me say
Let
why.
him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk. I'm gonna respond after
They
him. Let him talk.
Let him finish. You can respond, then I'll
Oh
come
my
after.
goodness
Sorry.
gracious. You don't need to talk anymore. Just be quiet, please. I don't want to raise my emotion. They are the biggest problem with all the problems that are in Nigeria, because if you look at the beginning of the Fulani into Nigeria, you would understand that just as you understand the British. Firstly, that they are foreigners to what we call Nigeria. Secondly, they have oppressed the largest group in that area, taking over all of their industry and kingship, who are the Al Hausa. They tried to do it with the Kanuri. They were not able to defeat the Kanuri. They tried to do it with the Yoruba. They took Ilori. You can tell that this is a marauding group with marauding mindset. You can say whatever you want to, but I know Nigeria better than anyone on this platform, possibly with the exception of True Niger. And really and True Niger is a small boy to me. You understand? And I don't mean that insultively. What I'm trying to
Dinus.
what I'm
Oh,
trying
Nonsense.
to
go ahead.
put
Go
to
ahead.
us, what I'm trying
Nonsense.
to put to
Nonsense.
us is
Nonsense.
that if we are not able to tell ourselves the truth, as Dinus witnessed, Dinus, he probably didn't have this opinion 10 years ago about Nigeria, but now he sees and he does have the opinion. Why can't we
Okay.
admit
Okay.
our issues? I end.
Let me say this, right?
Ben, I'm begging you, I'm begging you.
Hold on.
Let me
Hold on.
just
Hold on.
respond to him, please.
Oh, oh,
Please, I'm
oh my
begging you.
God.
1 second.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
Banks should
Thank you, man.
respond
I
because
apologize. I apologize.
Django was
Jangun,
talking to him.
Jangun, you calling Fulani the people that came there with the British is a misleading statement. You can
No, I
go
didn't say
on.
they came there they were the British. I said they came like the British, which was to
Okay.
enter
So how long?
and take over the
What year?
country.
What year was that? What year was that?
This is
What
this is
century was that?
they began before the British came. But you're going to
No,
all
what
you're going to
century?
do is
What? No, no. What
all you're
century
going
is
to
that? Was
do,
that?
you're going to use your
The
time to
Fulani
just
been
to
in
defend
overnight. The
Fulani.
Fulani been in
You're
over.
just
No,
going
the
to
Fulani
defend
been
them,
in
but
over.
it's pointless.
Can I finish? I did not interrupt. I did not interrupt you.
You
The
did
Fulani
interrupt
been
me.
in Nigeria. The Fulani been in Nigeria since the 13th century. Prove me
And
wrong right now. Everybody else.
that mean?
Since
What
the
does that
13th
mean?
century, they've been in
Uh-huh.
northern Nigeria. Yeah,
And
and
what have
the
they been
chief.
doing since
I'm
that
just
time?
no.
No,
Now you
no,
sound
just
misleading
ask
to you
me.
guys.
What
Can
have
I
they been
finish? Can I
doing
finish?
since that
So,
time?
so
Let
They've
him
been
say his thing
marauding.
though.
come on.
Let Africa get his point off.
Thank you very much.
Africa is a Fulani apologist.
I have a
Oh
question
dear,
for
there you go.
Django. I
The
have a
chief
question
people,
for Django.
the chief tribe in the central belt
Now them
in
stop
what we
them
call
bastards.
Benue. Yeah, how long the chief tribe been in that region? The 18 something from they came from Kitanga in Congo and came and settled in the Benue River. They're not
Okay.
originally native to that region either. So the Fulani been in northern Nigeria since the 13th century, and the chief been in that Benue area since it just on that around the 18th century. But you guys, because you do not understand the history and the connection
As
and
far as
the
you're concerned.
reality of
I
the
have a
tribe,
question.
yeah, you are very quick at spreading lies and propaganda. This is the
Yeah,
reason why I
I have a question.
Africa. I'm ashamed of you.
I have a
let me say
question.
this, right?
Because you're
Okay,
I have
okay,
a
Fulani.
okay,
question.
okay.
You're Fulani. You're
Hold
talking
on.
rubbish.
No, but
You
listen,
guys
I'm just
hear me?
proving wrong. Guys, can you
Rubbish,
just,
You
man.
hear
Just
can
me?
go
you
and
guys
sit down
just go
somewhere.
and
Okay,
prove it to me
let
Let
wrong?
the next
Let me
Bangs
person
say this.
speak.
let Bangs
Can you guys
speak,
hear
y'all.
me?
Let
Everybody
me
keeps
respond real quick, right? Let me
Can you guys
This
respond
hear
real
guy
me?
is
quick.
an idiot.
Let me respond real quick, right? Because I like to talk to the Black Americans because
Can you
that's
guys hear
where
me?
yeah, that's where
I hope
that's
Dennis
where the
is
confusion
listening
is
to
coming
this. He
from.
can prove me wrong
That's
right
where
now. Everything I just said, I hope Diners can prove it to
My
me.
brother.
Fulani been in Nigeria since 13th century, and the
Bro,
chiefs been in Benue
let Bang
around the
speak,
18th
man.
century.
Give
Are
Bang a
you going
chance
to
to
Exactly.
speak.
repeat yourself? We heard
And
all
these
that.
guys are
Give Bang a chance to
We
speak,
heard all that,
y'all.
man.
Let Bang
Let
respond.
me say
You're
I have
just
a
something real quick.
question when
disturbing.
Bang's done. I have a
Let Bang
question.
Let me
speak,
say something real
y'all.
quick, right? Okay. I'm trying to speak to the Black Americans, right? Because a lot of time people need to understand how Nigeria really works from the basic structure of it, right? Okay, let's just say the Norths belong to the Hausa, Fulanese, and then other ethnic groups, right? The Southwest belong to the Yorubas, right? And then some minor troops. The Southeast of Nigeria belongs to the Igbos, which is the 5 states. Then you have the South that belongs to the Deltas, and then the other people, right? So for you to just say, okay, well, if you split Nigeria, just give up to the North and stuff like that, right? Nigeria is very complicated. It's very complicated because just like I mentioned, like a couple weeks ago, right? Let's not forget that Buhari did offer the Igbos, the 5 states, to leave Nigeria. They chose not to. That is absolutely facts. Absolutely facts. Buhari gave the Igbos the 5 states to leave. They chose not to. They chose not to. And then look at Sonny Sonny Igbo, right? When he was unaliving Fulanese. Did anybody come up here and say, oh, look what the Yorubas are doing?
Hold on,
Nobody's
bang.
not come up here.
Bang. Let me ask you a question. Can you post in the chat room where Buhari offered the Igbos,
Thank you. He
Can you?
just talking rubbish.
Yeah,
Real
That is
rubbish.
facts.
I
No,
gotta see that,
no,
bro.
that
I
is
gotta
facts.
see that.
I'm not lying. Dennis,
Bang,
Man,
I'm
bang,
not
real
bang.
lying.
Okay,
bang.
Okay,
bang,
If I may
bang, bang.
say,
Dennis,
Bang.
tomorrow, I
Speak
beg you,
to it, man.
Hold
I
on,
beg you,
bang,
Dennis.
bang,
You gotta,
bang,
you
that is
gotta
bang.
keep
complete
banging them.
I got
rubbish.
one
Tomorrow,
mic,
I
one
beg
mic.
you.
You're not talking over one mic. You're not talking over me. Bang. All I'm asking, bang, is just post a source where you could back your case, like back your what you just said. What you just said.
I tell you why he won't be able to do that.
Okay, no
Because
problem,
there's
no
a
problem. Okay,
process.
I'm not buying
If you're
that.
going to
no
secede
problem,
from
No,
no
the
problem,
Diners,
no
country,
problem,
Diners,
no
if you're
problem.
going to
Let me
secede from
finish.
any country, you
Let
will
me
have to
finish.
go through a process. And the first
You
process
spoke.
you have to
Dynasty.
go through
Let me
is
finish.
called
You spoke.
a referendum. A
Let me
referendum
Listen,
finish. Let me
is not in
finish.
the constitution
let the man
of
finish. Let the
Nigeria.
man finish,
So
man.
unfortunately, this person
Let me
called Bang,
finish.
he should go and use
Oh
Bang to
God,
shoot himself.
Jacob,
Idiot.
listen, just because
No,
Jacob
you
is
see,
shouting over
I
people to
came up
make you
here.
feel
I came up here
incredible, but it's
honestly, right?
actually very disingenuous.
I came up here
Rubbish. That's
honestly.
You're not
rubbish.
listening.
No,
You're
no,
very
I
Well,
came up
we're
here
disingenuous,
we're
honestly.
bro.
we're we're talking about all of this, guys, but
Hey,
there's an urgency.
let Bang finish, and I'm gonna pass it
Yeah.
to you. Go ahead, Bang.
Yeah. I came up here
Okay.
honestly and said, of course you have bandits, there are Fulanese. Of course you have terrorists, there are Fulanese up in the north. I'm not going to just completely disagree that. That is absolutely facts. But let's be fair. Let's not act like other people within the south or the southeast does not commit harm to their own people as well. You understand me, right? The
No, I
reason
don't
why the
understand you.
Igbo,
I know,
No, I
bang,
don't
bang,
understand
I
you.
don't understand you. Bang. The stuff that's coming out of the north lately, it does not happen in the south at
I
all.
want to
it
ask. I
does.
want to ask a
Oh my
No,
God,
question.
it does.
It's not
bang.
comparable.
Hold on,
Dennis,
But the
bang.
Diners, we all know it's not
No,
because of.
I'm talking. Bang. There's not 30 mass shootings at a market every day in the south,
are you okay?
like
No,
Okay,
it
Dennis.
doesn't.
there is up north.
Okay,
It,
okay, Dennis. Are you
And then
it
telling?
doesn't.
there's not like 50 mass kidnappings in the south in
Oh,
one
Dennis,
clip like there is in the north.
No,
Like
but
I
Dennis,
got a
Bang,
Dennis,
that's so
Dennis.
what
question.
Diners is saying is true.
Are you
No,
saying?
Bang, what
Are
Diners
you
is saying
saying?
is true because of the jihadis who coming from the Sahel. These are ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram. These are groups
Boko Haram
that
is not
actually
Fulani.
ravaging. No, but
Boko
we
Haram is
know that
not Fulani.
none of this group are Fulani, but the only group that is actually posing as a Fulani, we have to be real, is the hardest, the people who are posing to the hardest, who are doing some of the kidnappings,
Dennis, if you
right?
don't believe
So,
me,
I
and
got a
if I'm
question.
mistaken, if
tomorrow,
I'm
host
should I
live
then
about this
no,
topic.
hang on. If I'm mistaken, to Niger, my mistake. Correct me if I'm wrong. The northwest is mainly Fulani problem, like the banditry and like the mining issue as well. That's not Fulani really, but it's mainly like probably middle belt where you're gonna Fulani hardest problems, right? And the
Those
farmers
are
hardest
chiefs.
those
Those
I
are
problems.
got
chiefs
a
But
fighting
the
each
question.
other.
I
northwest,
got a
northwest
question.
is ISWAP, northwest is ISWAP. What's his name? Northeast is Boko Haram, and the north central is probably Fulani farmers hardest. And also they got another group that came from Libya in the northwest that is in Sokoto. I think they're the one that was bombed by Trump. They came from Libya, so they not even belong to Africa. These are these are the different groups. to bring all this killing to one little minor tribe. It just shows how people are really
The
good,
math does
basically
not
trying to
make
be good at
sense.
spreading propaganda.
I got a
You know,
The
we
question.
all
math
know
does
that's
not make
not
sense.
true. And the more people read into the narrative that they're trying to spread, the less they start to believe them. You know
Okay,
what? You finish,
The math
yeah.
Hey,
does
hey,
not make
guys,
sense.
Africa.
I gotta pass the mic to CJ. CJ's been waiting. Go ahead, CJ. Unmute yourself, CJ.
All right. Yeah. Good evening, Dynas. Thank you for having me on. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Yeah.
CJ.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. Let me say something about this situation. We're not gonna bang on all Fulani, no pun intended. But
Oh,
all
you should,
Fulani
you
are not
should,
the
you
same.
should,
All Fulani are
you
not the
should,
same.
you should.
No,
Just name where you
all
come
Fulani
from.
are the same. But what's going on in Nigeria is
Just name where
different
you
than
come
what
from
goes on in
first.
other
Oh,
countries.
Bro,
Yeah.
can you let him speak?
No, Ben,
God.
let him man speak. Then come on,
Yeah. Let me say this about him talking about the herdsmen. Mieti Allah is a Fulani herdsman organization. That is the largest organization for herdsmen. In fact, in the private chat, I'm gonna have you, if you want to look it up, because we need to start verifying stuff rather than talking.
Baby shark.
Go ahead. I remember.
Mieti Allah, if you look it up right now, it's gonna tell you that Mieti Allah is a Fulani organization. That is the largest cattle breeding association in Nigeria. So
possibly
they
in West
represent,
Africa.
yeah, in West Africa. They represent
Possibly, yeah.
the Fulani herdsman pastoralists. So when this guy
Right.
talks about that the herdsmen, listen, if you go all throughout Nigeria, you got Hausa communities. The people that sell suya all throughout Nigeria are Hausas. They're everywhere. They're in every major city or town in the country. When the cattle's come down, they're getting it from Fulanis, and then they're slaughtering the cow and they're making their suya.
Right.
That's how they roll. So
It's a whole different industry, yeah.
exactly, it's the industry. Now he says that. Now I've said it before on one of Dynas's show that the owners of a lot of these cattle are Fulani elites. There's nobody in the South that has a business for rearing cattle. It's not something that anybody in the South does.
No, you do have some Yorubas who breed cattle. And
You have
some
some that deal with it over
Let him
there
keep
in
going. Let him keep
Kepi,
going.
like Kwara
Let him keep
State,
going. Let him keep
places
going.
like
Let him
that.
keep
They
going.
might deal with it.
No, but I'm with him.
But they don't deal with it in mass and bringing them all over Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? So, because I know that I've seen them. I've actually seen in my parents' village, the cattle's coming through, and the Fulani back before all this mad stuff started happening. Now, like Africa said, not all of the people that are doing the attacks are all Fulani. He's correct. Boko Haram, ISWAP are all different. But when you start getting into the Middle Belt region, it's the Fulani herdsmen. It's been like that for the last 15, 20 years. So let's not even stop. Let's stop lying right now. Because receipts will just make you look stupid, like anybody looks stupid if they're saying that that's not the case.
So the question is, how do we protect the good elements of West Africa, i.e. the AES, without getting stuck on Nigeria's dysfunction? Because if we get swirled into the confusion and dysfunction of Nigeria, we will go nowhere. And I'm saying that we have something to protect, which is the positive elements, and the positive element that's going on. And the only thing that I can see really is the AES. How do we protect that, and how do we grow that? Is the question.
Okay, the
Because
Great
last
there's
time,
question,
all of
Sharp.
these
the last
One
time,
elements.
second. I want
Sharp,
to
great
ask the guy
question.
that just spoke the
You see,
question
the
I
again.
think
last time,
that question needs to be
One
the
answered,
last
second.
time.
and
Hold on.
I think
Let
through
me answer
Niger,
that question properly. Let me
you
answer that
should
question
look at that
properly.
question.
Jagu, you're making this
Wait,
thing.
one second. I want to ask the
Let
guy
me
that
let me
just
answer
You're
that
spoke
making
question
this thing a bit
prior
properly.
the
low IQ,
question.
bro.
Let me
Just
All right,
let me
thank
answer
you.
that question
Thank you
properly.
for that
One
rubbish
second. The
insult.
guy that asked before. No,
Let me
wait,
answer that
one
question
second.
properly, real quick,
Before we go
30
on to the
seconds,
AES, I want to ask another
30
question.
seconds.
Before we go on to AES, I want to ask the guy that spoke before a question. The question I have is, how much political power does the Fulani control? And the other question I have is, how good is the infrastructure, the road networks, trains, whatever, going all across Nigeria, particularly to the northern areas where these issues are?
Well, I
If the
mean, when it
military
Let
needs
comes
to
me
get there, how
when it
let me
efficient
comes
is
to
it?
One
When it comes,
person.
I'm going to respond to the question.
One by one. We'll respond one by one, okay?
When it comes to
That's
the
good.
Fulani are the most dominant, group in Nigeria. I mean, yeah, they make up like 5 to 6% of the population, but in
No, they do not.
Nigeria,
They're
in
more than that.
particular,
No, they're just
No,
about
when I
that.
say political
they're
power,
just
I
about
mean
that
They're
because
more than that.
there's no way they're.
Let him finish responding.
Be
Then go
quiet. Let
around.
him
Let him
finish.
go around.
Listen,
when I say political power, I'm
anybody
talking
read
about
articles.
government, like voting power, essentially.
Anybody who's read articles in the last 25, 30 years on Nigeria, there was a time when you would read articles and they would literally say House of Fulani as if they were one ethnic group. This is how they projected their numbers as if they were deeper than they really are because they
Well said.
made houses a paper tiger.
Well said, and that's the truth.
This is the truth. You can look up articles from the 1990s.
I'll respond to
It's
that.
the truth, my brother.
And
No,
you
no, I'll
use
respond to
now
that.
you
Don't
don't
worry,
see
don't worry.
that
I'll
no
respond
more.
to that
But
next.
and
I'll
No,
respond to
Let
that
it go
next.
around. It'll come to
I
you,
need
man.
someone
Let-
sensible.
listen,
Two
No,
Niger.
no. I'll
Yes,
respond to
yes,
that
yes,
next.
let-
yes,
No problem.
yes.
No,
anybody
You
over
are
40
you're
can
too.
not gonna
You are
verify
too
what
dictate.
I'm saying
erratic.
is the
You're not
truth.
gonna
Just like
dictate.
your
You're
name.
not gonna dictate.
Bang.
You're not gonna dictate why you trying to belittle my people.
Hey,
So please
any
be quiet.
Nigerian over
You
Oh, so
40
you
are
can
are a
you.
verify
Fulani
that I'm
drunkard.
saying the
No,
truth.
you are
Any
Yoruba.
Nigerian
You
over
not
40 knows
you
what
are
I'm
the
talking
Yoruba
about.
Yeah,
that lives in
well,
that lives in
well,
England.
well,
That lives
well.
in England. Now
Right, you're not even
let me
making
respond,
any
right?
codings.
Let me
You,
respond
you,
real
Bang,
quick,
Jagun, I
right?
bang, you're
mean,
not even
Last
doing
time,
that.
Jagun,
it's
you know,
wonderful
can I,
that you can
last
Jagun,
read.
time,
Jagun,
Bang, you're
Jagun,
not from
listen.
Nigeria, bro.
No,
last
but
time
You're not
somebody
from
said, right?
Nigeria. You
Jagun.
don't know it. You don't know Nigeria.
Okay.
Last time somebody said something right here, right? Tinubu was gonna attack, invade AES, right? It was the Sokoto of the north, right? Stop them, right? So okay. So then if Tinubu was gonna invade Nigeria, the Sokoto of the north told him to stop. That means the Sokoto is a Pan-Africanist. That means Tinubu is
No.
not.
It means that
No, by what you said.
he has
By
more
what
political
you
power.
said. By what
But,
you said.
okay,
I
Ben,
heard you.
okay,
A
can
couple
I
weeks
now
ago.
respond to Ben?
Couple weeks
Guys,
ago. By what you said.
Fine,
By
okay,
what you said.
okay, Ben.
That means
Listen,
the
was that
Sokoto
Jonathan Miller
You
speaking
is.
proved my
earlier, yeah,
point.
or CJ?
That's what he said.
CJ,
That's what CK said.
You proved
CK,
my
you
point,
said that,
man.
right?
You
Couple
just
weeks ago,
yes,
right?
and that's what
You said
happened.
a couple weeks ago, right? Okay.
Yes.
If that is true, right? If that is true, the Sokoto then tells Tinubu not to attack, right? That means the
no,
Sokoto
but
is
Ben, you're right.
Pan-Africanist.
Let me just
Is
let me just
Pan-Africanist.
Hey,
make
my,
it.
Right or
Let me
my
just
wrong?
prove this
question
Right
right.
was
or
No, it
not
wrong?
definitely is a
answered
That
Pan
means
by my
Tinubu
Africanist.
is not.
Look,
question.
That means Tinubu is not.
My question was not
no, 1
answered by
second,
that
right?
brother or whoever knows.
That means
I
Tinubu is not.
want to
By what
know.
you said,
Ben,
My
which is
listen.
completely
question
lie.
was not answered. I want to know
No,
who has
Ben, let me just say
political
one thing,
power.
right?
When I
Wait,
say
oh
political
goodness, the way we
power,
communicate.
when I say political power, I'm talking about they hold elective office, whether on the state level or federal level,
Yes.
whatever level they have, and what
They
percentage of
do.
that
They do.
Well,
You
most
power
cannot
they
deny that,
hold.
Ben.
The
let
other
me answer the
question I
question.
want to
The brother's
know
asking
is
me the question.
how extensive is the road networks and stuff like that, particularly if the military needs to get to an area or the police to secure that area or provide security in that
Ben,
area.
So
Ben, Ben. Let's
JA,
be honest, Ben. Let me just
let me say
finish.
this
Let me
real
one
quick.
second,
Let me
guys.
answer this
1 second. I
question.
apologize. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, go.
what's up, my brother?
Okay,
What's up?
so thank you. What these guys are saying about the dominance of the Fulani or the Fula in Nigeria, yeah, is not far from the truth, but it's a bit too far. And also, with the Hausa Fulani bit, he was right. The Fula and the Hausa, they're not the same. They're not the same people. Everybody knows that. But um, the Fulani are Niger Congo people, genetically, linguistically, and the Hausa people are Afro-Asiatic people.
And
However,
That
and let
wasn't
me
the
just
point.
finish. No. However, the majority of the Hausa, in northern Nigeria, and the Kanuri, these people been intermixing, since the 9th century at Lake Chad, because there was a lot of the traveling between the from far Senegal to through the River Niger and all the way to like through the Sahel, is a route, for cattle. So most of these people in the Sahel, they always been like this, and people keep forgetting. Northern Nigeria was part of the Mali Empire, was part of the Songhai Empire. These are times where kingship were dealt with. There are different times and different tribes who dominate that region. Just because Fulani probably dominate the region now,
bros,
it doesn't last forever. You
Africa.
understand?
Whilst
Oh,
you
yeah,
speak
go
a
on.
lot of great history and you are
Yeah,
saying real things,
yeah,
you are
thank
not
you.
answering our brother's question.
Yeah,
Right,
go on.
because there's an urgency about that, and
Yeah,
if you
my
keep saying that
brother,
it's an
my
That's
brother,
what I'm
urgency
trying to
all
answer
the
the
history
about
question.
that
They
it,
you're
don't want me to
talking.
answer it.
you
You see,
So
become
I mean,
if I
But
may
desensitized
wait,
to
come
the
in,
wait,
fact.
wait, wait, wait,
you
wait.
know,
Let me Megan say.
I wanted to Niger to come in and answer that question because I see it as a rather serious social
What
security question that needs a
what
real
question was
serious.
that?
Wait, please,
What?
Africa, please wait. You're
All right,
you're
go on.
you're you're disturbing. If I may say, the
Well,
history
you're
that you.
disturbing the platform all this time. I'm just asking you what you're
All right,
saying
thank
is.
you
Yep,
very
yep,
much. Can
yep,
I
Go ahead.
just finish
Go ahead.
now?
Sis.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
all right,
Thank
yep.
go
you.
ahead.
Accusing
Go ahead.
somebody what he's doing. That's exactly what
Okay,
he's
thank
pushing
you.
out.
Thank you as well, my
Focus on
friend.
Nigeria, and then
Now,
yeah, go
allow
Let
ahead.
me
me
to
answer
go
the question
forward.
because he asked me the question. I never got to answer it because
No, it's not. You had an attempt, but again, unfortunately, you were crashed. And I wanted to hear.
No, no,
yeah, but
no.
Wait,
I'm allowed.
please,
If
Oh,
someone asks me a
please don't
question,
do
I'm allowed to
this.
I did
answer.
ask
When
that
I'm
Just
on,
let
brother.
the
I did
person
ask
who
that
is
brother
now
the
speaking
question.
end.
I did ask
The,
that
all
brother the
CJ does
question though.
is blame the Fulanese. That's what he does. Blame
no,
the
no,
Fulanese.
I'm bringing the
That's
truth
all you
about
do.
what's
That's all
going
you
on in
do. You
Nigeria.
come in the southeast. You come
First
from
of
the
all, let me
southeast.
oh,
You have your
Omar,
Come on, you
governors.
guys.
You
You
have your
have
listen.
you
governors
have
that
self
that are not
control. You have
Fulanese.
The
impulse
You have
north,
control.
you
An
most
have you
island
of
have your
person
the
senators.
speaks.
You
Bang,
have your
bang,
senators
bang,
that
you
are
know
Bang,
why
bang.
you know
Fulanese.
why
bang.
But
Bang
every
doesn't
time
want me to
you
talk
I
move,
was
because
you
all
say
my
asking
the
people
friends
to
are there.
let
Fulanese.
you speak, Bang. I was advocating for you to speak. Now
Bang
you
been
just
speaking for the
talking.
last
You
Yeah,
just
hour.
randomly
yeah.
talking.
Bang,
Bang
guys,
don't want me
just
to
chill out,
speak.
fam.
would it be fair for the fact
Yeah.
that nobody has answered, and I've put it for anyone to answer because no one has answered? Can I answer it, please?
Oh
Can
my
I
goodness.
answer it? My brother who put a sane question to a panel in flux at the moment. Nigerian network of roads is extremely poor. It does not connect the whole nation, and it particularly leaves people, and I feel that this is purposeful, almost out of the picture. The way Nigeria treats poverty is the most disgusting thing that you would ever come across. I've traveled east, west, north of that country called Nigeria. And if as you go to different areas, it's like different countries, to be frank. The response, emergency response, is only the army. And that's when you know that you're in a third world country because there is no police that takes care of any emergency. Neither is there any ambulance or medical facilities that can rescue anybody at any time. If your house is burning, it's going to burn to ashes. It's not going to leave anything or anybody. Nigeria is like that. Now, when we move forward and we understand that at Nigeria's beginning, it was actually better prepared for emergencies of nearly any type than today. More better. As Nigeria stumbles forward, and then these Fulani apologists on the platform who don't care or know really about Nigeria and how a country that could have been the greatest black nation on earth is stumbling, largely because of differences politically is minutiae. The differences in religious terms used politically and the differences in ethnicity, they are the real main players destroying that country. Now, the educated class of Nigeria, unfortunately, they are battle shy. They're battle shy. We've got a fight, a war in that country called Nigeria to have. And we're not having. We're allowing foreigners, criminals, and dusty class bastards to run that country. That is
Um,
it. That is it
can
in a nutshell.
I just add?
Wow, that was
I
You got
think.
wow. That's
profound
disgusting.
analysis.
Let
Thank
me
you for
That's
say my
that,
piece.
disgusting.
Jargon.
Let me say
People,
One
my
people
piece.
are
second,
the people are
there was
actually
not an
used when it
answer
come
to the
when Africa used to be
political.
during the Mali Empire. Your people used to be the lower caste of the West African lot that was
There wasn't.
captured
There was
by
not an
by
answer.
your people were captured and
Calm
slain
down.
by
Stop
the late
complaining
Samori
Fulani in
Toure.
your city.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are still looked down
Don't
on
be
as the lower
stupid.
caste.
You think I
For
don't
you
know
to
my
run your mouth
culture,
and
you
say
damn
that
fool.
here.
There was
How
not
But
an
laughable.
I
This
answer.
was
is what the
asking a
Yoruba
question
did.
about how do we protect the
But
AES, and I thought that that's what
The
Jagun
Yoruba,
was going to speak on.
bang, the Yorubas
I
want to stop
I
the
would have
Katinga.
continued,
The,
but I
the
felt that
Yorubas wanted to set the
first let me answer
Mandinka.
that first
Let me just
question
finish so you
so that
haven't.
you understand that Nigeria is a completely unviable nation. and it
There was
needs
not
to
a
put itself back. It needs to put it. It needs to
Jago,
re. Wait, let me
Jago.
there
just
was not
finish.
an
Hold on.
The
answer to
guy
the
asked
Hold on
me.
now.
political
You've been
question though.
talking.
But you're still not speaking to what
The
I asked,
country.
He's
though.
just
How do you
interrupting the
Bruh, I
protect?
platform.
offered
He's
You
you,
just
good,
interrupting
Tunaja.
Jago?
it.
I offered
He's
you
Hold
interrupting
on,
it.
about
hold
half
on,
an hour
You
ago. You
Jago.
were
Let me let
silent.
me let
You
me
were
let me say.
silent.
May I
shouting.
speak?
What do you
Jago,
mean stop shouting when you're
you're
talking in front of me?
just fucking up the show, bro.
There was
Tunisia, do
not
you
an
want to
Messing up
speak
the
answer
or
to
will
the
show.
you allow me to
politics.
speak?
Might as well
Jago,
go.
can I speak?
Yes,
Africa,
Then
please.
can I
That's the
Tunisia
speak?
speak, then
politics.
Jagun
So
come.
the question that I
Tunisia
asked,
then Sha.
go ahead, Africa, you speak. I'm gonna shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my brother. I apologize,
He's
Sha.
going to use his time to
Okay.
interrupt.
So let me
You are not
you guys, come
okay,
on,
sorry, Sha.
guys.
Sha,
We
go
can
on,
do
Sha. Go on,
better.
Sha.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
acquiesce
Sha,
to
go on.
you, Africa. Go ahead.
No, Sha, you go on. I'm
You're
apologizing.
speaking and I'm speaking. I can't hear you. I want to hear what you have to say. But if you're speaking underneath me or on top of me, I'm
He's a
gonna be
professional
quiet.
interrupter.
I will let you
No,
speak,
Sean,
Sha.
go ahead,
Okay,
Sean, Sean,
so
go ahead, go ahead.
I asked the question a while ago, and I don't, expect you don't have to follow my question lead, but people wanted to speak to it. But the brother said, can we deal with the question of Nigeria and the situation that's going on, which is crucial and important because Nigeria is crucial and important. However, the urgency that I'm speaking of is the urgency that the world is encroaching on Africa for its resources, and the United States, as it's becoming more of a hegemony, and it's moving its diplomacy out the way and just taking
Okay,
shit right now. It's on that
okay,
mode, and so
okay. Thank you,
it is
Sha.
potentially. Give me a second to finish. So what's happening is that it is. So what's
Go on.
happening is that. Oh, can you guys mute up,
Someone
please?
needs
Because
to
I'm
mute.
getting an echo.
Somebody's got an echo.
Yeah,
Somebody
can
can
you
mute
know?
up.
Thank you. So what's happening is that uh, United States is moving into a position or a place in as it's going into Nigeria to also, I believe, and everybody else I think would agree, to check the Sahel, to check the AES as well, and say we are here and we're going to be here and possibly go into the Sahel, or we're gearing up to go into the Sahel because moving through our partners, i.e., Ouattara and Ivory Coast, or Talon and in Benin, is not enough. So we're moving in ourselves, and we are checking you right now because we may enter into the AES just to thwart that because we don't want that movement happening. And I'm saying that the most positive thing that is happening now supersedes Nigeria's well, not really, but in a way it does supersede Nigeria's dysfunction in trying to get Nigeria to be in the right place so that Africa will have a future. But I'm saying that we can't wait on Nigeria, that we have to look at what's going on in the Sahel. We have to be talking about and think tanking about how that can not only stay protected and grow and influence other countries to join it and expand. And we're not talking about that to me, and it's urgent. But if you keep saying
Right.
shit is urgent, you get desensitized to the urgency of it. But that's what it
But
is.
thank you
Shah,
very
Yeah,
you're
but
much.
Sean,
correct, though.
who's the
Sha, I
Brother
president?
apologize.
Shah,
Oh
Who's
God,
the
Brother
president of
Shah,
okay.
Nigeria?
you
Don't do
are
this to
Who
me.
is the
correct.
president of Nigeria? Who's the
What is
president of
wrong with
Nigeria
you?
right now?
What can I just oh, no, hold on. Number one, thank you very much, Sha. You made a good point. It's very urgent. But the reason why these problems are not going to be addressed, as I said the last time, because we're focused too much in fighting one another. We've been fighting with
Exactly.
each other for so long. Any outsiders that we see that comes in, we see them as a more of a close friend than our local. And Jagun, I'm sorry to say this, to be a good example of that.
Very good.
When it
Thank
comes to
you. Thank you.
yeah,
Wonderful.
when it
Can
comes
I
to
can I speak after you spoke?
what
Because
I'm not,
I won't insult you because I'm not about that.
no, I'm not going to insult you, bro. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm just going to
No,
give
no,
you
no.
the
You've
facts
done enough
as
to
I
insult.
always
It's
do.
very nice. Like it's like
As I'm
water
a
off
good
a duck's back.
no problem. As I'm always known as a fact checker, you can check me online as I speak. Throughout history of West Africa, yeah, the tribe that you just insulted, there's not one single empire that they wasn't there in helping of building. Okay, and
Oh.
throughout Nigerian history, you always had people, leaders of different tribes,
Would
religion,
it
and
be
race,
fair? Let me put this
oh
Africa.
God, oh
Quick
my God, yeah,
discussion.
go on,
Quick discussion.
yeah, go on.
Would it be fair for I'm a historian, just like yourself. And if me and you compare history, we will battle more than likely because we might still see things differently. But this is we're talking about today. not
Oh
history.
God, let me just finish,
Please
right?
don't do this. Please don't do this. We are speaking about today and the urgent matters of today. I am from the coastal region and to the middle belt area of Nigeria in terms of my parentage. Given what Shah is explaining as to urgency, I'm in
You are
full.
trying to divert.
I'm
You're
in
trying to divert me, and I'm
wait,
not ready to
brother,
deal with that. But
brother,
that's fine. I'm
brother.
still focused. Go on.
Okay,
This
brother.
is my time to talk, and you
No,
interrupted me, and
let
I
me
have
just
a very rude,
end what I'm saying so that
uncivilized. Go on.
you're clear on who I am.
Okay.
The nations that are, include the AES, those nations, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, I'm in full support of what they are doing now. They are striking the urgency that every West African and indeed every African has to take as an example. The protection that Shah speaks of to these people is that the more that they are left alone, the more that the more expendable they become to the Western nations who would have shot of them. You're telling me that I wish you just take your time. We're in the night now, and there is time at night time. The thing that you are complaining that you believe
Some
I'm
of us got work to do, and I don't want you to be interrupting me while I'm supposed to be
well,
speaking,
you're doing that
and
to
then
me
you're
now,
speaking
bro.
up to me.
I'm coming.
No, but
I'm speaking.
it wasn't your turn. Listen, I don't know if you're
I know it
Why are we
wasn't
so
my turn,
he just
I don't know if
interjected
you're
and
under
you
the
only carry on talking as if you are the only one
yeah,
here. I don't understand what is
bros.
going on
Tim,
with you guys there.
exactly,
Bros.
and I don't know if he's under the influence
I
of
tell you why.
something,
I tell you
but he's
why.
not making this
There are
show
people
to
like
sound
me.
civilized at
There
all.
are people like
No,
me because there are people like you,
you
and
are
we have
not
to
listening. You're
defend
coming here to
ourselves
argue with
against
people.
people
Just let
like
it go.
you. To be frank, both you two, Nigeria and
Okay.
Africa.
Okay,
You two,
Africa,
Nigeria,
let me
that will
have my
talk.
own
You
say.
will
Let
be
me have my
talking
own
Look
say.
at
forever.
this guy. This
Let
is
me have
so.
my own
This
say.
is
Let
what
me have my
Nigerians.
I
own
This is
can
what
be quiet.
this is
I
exactly
can
what I
be
like
quiet.
about
It's you
two
that
of
Nigerians,
can't.
you
right?
have spoken.
They like
Can
to
I
spread
just have my
propaganda,
say? I don't
and
have
when they
time
try
to
to
Oh,
debate
address
there,
the
with
guys,
issue,
we
they
got,
start
we got.
talking.
Okay,
Africa, can you just shut up for a
hold on, one
second?
mic. After
Jesus
Africa,
Just
you
shut
got
Christ.
it.
your mouth.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Africa,
come.
you got 1 minute. Then two Niger, then we got to close out. Go to Africa.
Oh, thank you very much. This is reality. Now, what I encountered Nigerians, they're very good at spreading propaganda, and when you're trying to counter their narrative, they will shout over you and they will say all kind of stuff. And I'm telling you guys, you are very, very, very. It takes me. This is the reason why I came here, and I was talking about Mother River Union. You Nigerians, you get all your problem. You have had so many different leaders, different tribes that run your country to the ground. Your biggest employer in southern Nigeria is a guy from the north. But then you sit there and say the north is poor. What you
Exactly.
call wealth, yeah, what you call wealth, and what you call yourself as Westerner or your Christian religion, whatever, that needs to be.
Bunch of haters.
Is he done? Okay.
It's not that. He's not, I don't know if he's gone, but he didn't finish.
He somehow muted
No, no,
himself.
no,
Okay,
no.
so
He paused. He paused. He
can
paused.
I just Jesus Christ, can I
Yeah,
just
go
say
ahead, go ahead,
something?
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So from what I've observed, to say that the Fulanis are the biggest problem in Nigeria is not accurate. And also you can also
What
say
is
that the
accurate?
Fulanis can
Hold
I
on,
just
hold
say
on. Hold on,
something?
if I can say something. Africa, northern Nigeria, like their the literacy rates in the out of school children compared to the South are by far worse than the worse in the North than it is in the South.
Much
I mean,
worse.
that is true.
But he wants
Because
to talk about history.
I
He
want
wants to
to
talk
go.
about history.
can I
I
finish
mean,
what I'm
With
saying?
people
Can I
people that
finish what I'm
can't
saying?
read.
Let me finish
Imagine.
what I'm saying, please. See, to say that they are the worst problem in Nigeria, no. And we can also admit that they have outsized influence because of their religious colonization of the North, which is true. But all parts of Nigeria are part of the problem that you see in Nigeria today. The idea that it's only the Fulani that are causing the problem is
No one
ridiculous.
said it's only. No one said that.
No,
Yeah,
he
but
said
Say
it
don't
multiple
say what
times.
people didn't
You
say.
said it
let me finish
multiple
what I'm
times,
saying
man.
now. Let me just finish
You
what I'm
said it
saying
multiple times.
Let him finish, y'all. He's
because
closing the
one,
show. He's closing the show.
yeah, because Fulanis are not in Somalia, they're not in Sudan, yet those countries have problems. The idea that the Somalis the Fulanis are the problem is ridiculous. It's all of us that are incapable of running nations, incapable of securing our nations.
Radical Islam's the problem. Go ahead.
So radical Islam is part of a problem too. And I think the people
Radical
that practice
Christians too.
Islam, Can I finish? The people that practice
Who
Islam
are radical
are not
Christians?
are
You
not
idiot.
the people that practice
No
it
such
are
Your
thing
not.
as
papa,
Can
radical
I?
Christian.
your papa,
You idiot.
The people that are
your
practicing these
papa.
religions, especially the Muslims, are not taking responsibility for the fact that they are single-handedly responsible for most of the loss of life due to one infringement on the other against their religion. That is a fact. And it's a problem in Nigeria because Nigeria is supposed to be a representative democracy where you have people that are supposed to get along with different religions, but they are playing a different game. And the idea that the North is not smart is ridiculous. They are playing a numbers game. In 50 years' time, they will make up 60 to 65% of the population because they marry more wives, they have more children on average, more than the rest of the South. And I've also told the Southern Nigerians, you keep playing this Western game that you're playing, otherwise, what is going to happen in 50, 60 years' time? You might as well just start practicing facing Mecca 5 times a day because that is the game they are playing. And for me, the way I look at it is that if I see what is happening in Sudan right now, it's an omen to what is coming to the South, and that's the way to Nigeria. And the Muslims in Nigeria, they don't seem to be prepared for it. They seem to think that this is a game of, we are going to dominate the rest of the country and it's going to be okay. No, tomorrow you will be Muslim in Nigeria and you find that Arabs will come in to cleanse you out like the way they cleanse the north, and they're coming to, they're already doing it in Sudan right now, and they're coming south. This is something that we have to take, we have to be aware of, because most of the Muslims in Nigeria, they don't want to take responsibility for their behavior. Because to them, they see that, their religion is expanding. That's all they care about. They don't even understand that whether the religion is killing them or not, they don't care. At least the Christians, they are willing to listen, but the Muslims, they are more stubborn. Especially the ones I've spoken to, they tend to be more stubborn to open conversations about these things.
You from the Southeast, right? Your governor, are they Fulani? Your senator, are they Fulani? Your House of Reps,
they are not Fulani. I already took responsibility for that. I already told you that.
Exactly.
It's not,
he didn't hear that.
These are the problems of Nigeria. I already told you they are not the.
When people
why are
people
you
lose
making
their
a
life?
point? You are fighting something that nobody made.
You guys are phony.
I never made that point. So why are you asking me? I
Why
never made that point.
does this guy have to keep repeating himself?
I never made that point.
You see, Tunaja, you haven't been.
It's not asking me a question about
your governor still
Tunaja, you haven't been listening to the people on the panel. That's why you have this attack now. For everything that you said, he didn't hear anything. He only heard that Muslims are stubborn. That's where he's going.
I never said
bro, Bang, what's the problem, Bang?
There's a people, man. Nah, this
I never said
it's
the Fulanis that are
come up on
causing the
social
problem.
media on this channel and say, the Fulanis. God damn it, man. Fulanis have never been your governor in your goddamn states. Never.
This is a Nigerian conversation. The title of this should have been about Nigeria and what's going on in Nigeria.
It should tomorrow. It should.
Because it's more than just Nigeria.
This
is Africa. Africa is a problem.
Because Africa is almost 50% Christian, 50% Muslim, and this is a problem.
You're disturbing. You're disturbing. This person called Bang. How do you communicate?
What's the problem, bro?
All they do is go around and blame Fulanis.
You're repeating it. We've heard all this. We've heard you. We've heard all that.
Fulanis are not your Obas. Fulanis are not your Ezes. But your stupid asses always
Great
go on social media.
See this guy. He's full of emotional imbalance. Emotionally imbalanced.
CJ, go save your 5 states. When you guys in your people.
Bang.
Why are we allowing this?
Fulanis.
You wasn't listening. You weren't with the conversation at all.
It's not listening.
He had a whole.
You have to understand how Nigeria works. That's the problem.
That's not how Nigeria works. Most Nigerians are not.
Will that matter? The United States.
Bang.
The United States.
Can I ask you? Are you Nigerian?
He's not.
Let me just ask you.
I am a Fulani man. I protect my
people.
But
are you Nigerian? I ask you a question. Answer it.
A country is over 200
You see, he's not even Nigerian.
He's not a Nigerian. That's why
he's a fucking idiot. I don't know why Dennis allows him.
It's okay.
I mean, he has to finish his ethnic group, man.
Continuously.
Nah, man, he's talking shit.
Fulanis are not your senator. Fulanis are not your Obas. Fulanis are not your essays. Fulanis are not your House of Representatives. Fulanis are not your local leaders.
He's an idiot. He's just an idiot. He's an idiot. You should go and bang yourself.
It's the problem of Nigeria.
Hey,
Fulanis is the problem of
While
Nigeria.
he's saying this, he's not answering the question.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Hold on. Go ahead,
say
CJ.
something,
Then we're gonna close out. Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, Dynas, that Katsina manager, governor that wants to free those bandits, he's Fulani. See, most of the governors of northern Nigeria are Fulani, even though Fulani make up 5 to 6% of the population. A lot
He's
of
not
these
doing
people
it
that
because they are
want to come out of their way to defend what's going on in the north. These people are. It has an Islamic dream of spreading Islam. That's literally their modus operandi. So ultimately, they want to continue to deflect blame on everybody else.
Deflect blame
in Nigeria for their agenda, because that's their agenda ultimately.
Deflect
and
blame, but you keep calling it one tribe.
And let me answer that question that brother said. The brother asked a question about security of these borders, including the Sahel. The reason why Nigeria is the issue.
Hold on. Let me interject. CJ is correct. The governor of Katsina State that wants to free the bandits is Fulani. All right, go ahead.
Exactly. So the reason why there's a compromise when it comes to, and I'm trying to bring this in with the Sahel and Nigeria. The reason why Nigeria is a very important talking point because of the size. If Nigeria goes into a socioeconomic collapse, you're going to have a lot of people leaving in and out of the region because
like
insecurity.
Right?
And what happened is,
let him finish, bro. Let him finish.
Stealing billions of dollars, like WeK.
What happened is that those same people that are part of these Islamic terrorist groups,
because he's a what?
Regardless of what their ethnic group is, they're going to be
Bang just snubbing everybody like this.
Another thing, Dynas, is that the Nigerian military is overwhelmingly northern Muslim.
Where's he at?
They're compromised in fighting against these terrorist groups. Okay, because they don't think nation first.
Oh, like Gentle
A lot
Yahoo,
of them are. There's repentant.
Like
Listen,
Yahoo, right?
Dynas, there's repentant Boko Haram members in the Nigerian military. You can look this up.
Killing his own people.
There's
exactly.
repentant
Like Gentle
Islamic
Yahoo, right?
jihadists
Like Gentle Yahoo.
that are
He's
in
a what?
the Nigerian
He's a Christian.
military.
Cannabis. Exactly.
Okay?
Like Gentle Yahoo, right? Killing his own people.
These people are here to defend the terrorism. That's what they're here for.
In the southeastern, right?
These
making
guys
sure that
are
you
here
can't
to
go to
defend
your,
the terrorism.
making sure that
I'm
you
not
can't go
even
to your
surprised.
village.
You don't talk about it. I'm not surprised that he's bold because
You from the
I'm not surprised that he's
southeast.
bold because at the end of the day,
has never
like
been
I
your
said
governor.
before, Fulanis are the most dominant political
if the Southeast don't have lights, if the Southeast don't have infrastructures, you cannot come up here and blame Fulanis. They're not your governor.
I can't hear you, CJ. All I can hear is bang.
Listen, I'm speaking calmly because truth is on my side.
Yeah, well, let Bang speak since he's hollering over you.
No, don't let him speak.
Because he ain't gonna say nothing.
Okay.
No.
He won't say nothing
You
on
either
his
mute
own.
him or you throw him off.
Interject.
Who's the president of Nigeria right now? It's Tinubu. He's a Yoruba. So if you have
Guys,
a problem,
this stupidity I can't stand. This guy is so stupid.
Exactly.
If you are all listening to him, I'm fucking off.
Do a live about Nigeria. I will bring facts. Tomorrow, do a live about Nigeria. I will bring tremendous facts.
This guy already,
Southeastern
Well, Dynas asked you to prove something. He asked you to put some information. Did you do that?
The herdsman.
Yeah. Bang. Hold on, CJ. Hold on. Yeah, bang. I said it was that Buhari was going to let the Igbo succeed. Can you please put that in the chat, the proof of that?
Yes.
Okay, bang.
You were supposed to have done that, though.
No. You see, the thing is this, right? The issue is this, right? The Southeasterners, for them to get freedom, right? They have to get the South states, which is the Delta people, right? It's two different type of people.
You don't even know about Nigeria. Igbos are outside of 5 states.
It's only 5 states.
No. Igbos are indigenous
no.
to more than 5 states.
CJ, you guys got like 4 or 5 states.
No.
You guys
can't claim the South, CJ. You guys can't claim the South. And that was one of the issues with Biafra.
No.
Some of these other ethnic groups did not want to be a part of it.
So why are they trying to create an Nyoma state then?
But who?
Nyoma state. You don't even know about Nyoma. You know about Wike?
But you said try.
That steals billions of dollars.
So listen.
Wike that steals billions of dollars from people.
You need to go ask ChatGPT how many states in Nigeria are Igbos indigenous to. It's more than 5.
It's 5.
No, we're not saying okay. So CJ, you're using the wordplay. Like we're not saying they might not be indigenous. You're saying who's the majority. I mean the majority.
Okay, so if you're talking about majority, that's different. But you got to understand.
No. I'm talking majority.
Okay. So listen to this.
So majority is like 4 or 5 states.
Listen. The reason why
you have Imo, Anambra.
I have relatives and in-laws that are from
Ogun,
Delta State and Cross Rivers that are Igbo. That are
would that be considered an Igbo state?
No, it's not.
They're not majority. They're not
majority.
Okay.
So then no.
Dynasty, you gotta listen.
And I think that was one of the major issues with Biafra is that they were trying to claim states that they weren't the majority of. And the majority of tribes in those states were like, nah, we good.
Dynasty, please let me
exactly.
Yeah, but that's the truth, man.
Exactly.
Dynasty, let me talk. You don't
exactly. I don't come up here act like Fulani's don't do bad things. Of course they do in Nigeria.
Let me
of course
speak,
they do.
I'm
don't come up here and say, "Oh, Fulani's don't kidnap people." I be lying to you.
States were created in 1967 to end regional governance. This is what led to Biafra succeeding. When Biafra succeeded, it was multiple ethnic groups, elders that were from the eastern region. The former Eastern region that decided to vote to go and succeed. The person that came up with the name Biafra wasn't even an Igbo man, it was an Ija man. In addition to that, Philip Effiong, the second highest figure after Ojukwu, was from Calabar. And he even has a book, you can look it up, Biafra, My Story by Philip Effiong. So the whole thing with Biafra is bigger than just Igbos. Igbos are just the largest group within Biafra.
No, my brother.
Now, as far as what you were saying,
no, my brother.
You guys just want to steal. Those
you guys want to steal Delta. You guys just want to steal Delta.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, CJ. This has to be. Hey, CJ, I gotta go, but this could be another topic. But again, from my understanding, the other ethnic groups, like the majority, did not want to be a part of.
And that's okay. Nigeria can stay one. I have no problem with Nigeria staying one.
Dennis,
because if Nigeria stays one, whatever issues everybody has to deal with it together.
It's too much, man.
So everybody deal with the problems of Nigeria together as one. One Nigeria is okay because everybody in Nigeria will have to find a way to deal with the problem of Nigeria together. And then let's see if we can.
We got to close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, subscribe. But the next time, family, nice, please.
IPOB terrorists.